that on your end?
Yeah. We're live.
I guess we're waiting on him then.
We're live.
Oh,
I was muted
okay.
in Discord. But yes, we're live now.
Very good. Game's over. Go home. No, I'm just kidding. So,
You're all dead. Go home now.
Everyone's dead. Rethink your life.
we're gonna turn to the illustrious Lieutenant Garrix once again.
Okie doke.
You have the current start date. You were the acting captain last we left. So please regale us with your acting captain's log, since you were the one who nearly got blown.
Alrighty. Chief Engineer's log. Stardate 53673.6. After nearly falling into a trap set by the El Nomad involving a distress beacon sent by our former vessel, the Sappho, we are going away. We are escaping at high warp, hopefully heading towards what I hope will be for a peaceful dialogue with the El Nomad. While not overly enthusiastic about the potential outcomes, I still find hope that we might be able to resolve all of this without more conflict. Meanwhile, our wayward guest, Mr. Allen, proved once again his intentions to be hostile. He's currently being dismantled after Lieutenant Selena and I removed an explosive from inside his head. Left with this, I now have a difficult decision in my hands. Even if I can and rebuild him, should I? End log.
Yes! And the answer is no, obviously.
Yes.
Listening to Jamie got us into this. Listening to Jamie can get us out.
See, y'all are with me. No,
Joel,
actually, I'm stumped.
To answer the question Joel asked, there was a yep. You are some distance out. You haven't made a whole lot of progress toward Federation space. We open up our first scene with Lieutenant Jolson.
He got big over the time in medbay.
So, Lieutenant, you have been you've had some rough times. Your character was under the knife not that long ago. Was an observation for a good 24-hour period, or less than actually. And not long after before you're about to involve yourself in the interrogation of Alan, your character had a slight complication with their health, and had to take some time to lay down and rest. Honestly, you're finally back on duty. It's been a while. You haven't really been briefed yet, but it's a brand new day aboard the USS Victoria, somewhere in space. What do you do?
Well, I guess the first thing I should do is go to the captain, the acting captain.
In what way do you want to go about that?
I guess I'll go to what shift is it? Are we in Alpha shift?
Yeah, Alpha shift just started.
Okay, I'll go to the bridge.
You
Alright.
can also ask the computer where my location is. But
It said acting captain.
I'll just go to the bridge.
still me. But yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, the acting captain is still Jaw. Garrix just happens to be on the bridge at the moment. He's just taking care of the bridge. So that's, yeah.
Actually, before we move on, before you say to that much, Garrix, when you secured Alan, let's put it that way, would you have taken him straight to somewhere to work on him, or would you have him put away while you work on him later?
I think I would probably have had someone on the engineering staff take him to a lab until I can get off the bridge to examine him more closely. Given our situation, I think I would leave the bridge at this point.
Okay, I believe Ensign Wash is at his post, along with Lieutenant Selena.
Yes.
I believe the doctor is currently in med bay.
Yes.
So,
And the captain is on her way to sick bay carrying an unconscious Denobulin.
And I have both my character sheet and the ship open. I am ready.
Lieutenant, you step onto the bridge. You see Garrix and Washburn and Selena at their posts. The screen shows that you seem to be at warp. So there you are.
All right, I'll go to the science station. Status report.
Glad you're feeling better, Lieutenant. Presently, we are headed to a rendezvous with the Alamo Nomad cruiser that was pursuing us. I believe we are meeting at a neutral location to have a discussion of sorts.
A discussion. Excellent.
Hopefully, it'll go better than the last one.
How's the warp drive I'm holding out? What's our present velocity or warp factor?
I believe we were going at. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we were going at warp 4 last we left off.
Seven?
No, we bolted out
No?
of there at warp 5. Was when we may not have sped up yet.
Got it.
So, still within safety tolerances.
Yeah, because last game I don't think we actually ever declared what speed we left the game at. So yeah, we never.
Probably
So
cruising.
it'd be 4 or 5. See,
Or
and that's
5.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, the cruising would be normally 7, so that's what Watch would have it at, unless somebody said otherwise.
That about makes sense, I think.
All right, I'll check my ice station to see if there's any timey-wimey temporal feedback from our warp core.
Warp core shows stable. The temporal heating system seems to be fairly stable. The heat sinks are showing normal wear. You seem to be in proper time sync with your original chronometer's reading. Although sensors do show that there is the Al Nomad, a fighter craft that seems to be on an intercept course, but your ship and the other ship are heading toward a mutual star system.
Interesting. By the way, Lieutenant Garrix, where's Lieutenant Commander Jawl at?
Oh, I believe she had an altercation with Mr. Allen and has he stiffens a little bit, assisting getting wounded to sickbay.
He's right, I would have called it into the bridge immediately, so yeah. He is not overstepping.
All right.
Okay then.
Wow, such a lively bunch for a bridge crew.
Hey, you're professionals. What do you want?
Yeah.
That's fair.
So we come to the med bay, full of the original senior staff, the USS Sappho, an injured nurse. And with the Lieutenant Commander Jal and Lieutenant Dr. McNeil facing a rather precarious problem. And right out of the gate, I'm going to spend 2 threat, in theory, if my computer decides to stop hating me. It will spend 2 threat. God, take my word for it. So, haha, take that. So, there. Look, the computer's trying to help you. Yes.
Did I click a button by accident?
Not even going to go there. But yes, it appears, even though that when the Sappho crew beamed up, and I will note that one of these people, is actually not Starfleet. This guy down here, because you grabbed on the L Nomad from the Sappho as well. Yes, everyone present is they were beamed in and they seemed okay, but on transit to the sick bay, everyone's gotten progressively worse. It seems that none of them really had, and the first medical contact they've had is you guys.
Doctor?
Commander?
I kind of look around. How is everybody?
I could really use my nurse right about
Nurse
now, but
Fleur
no.
excluded, because I know what's wrong with her.
But you had to shoot her, right? Is this what we're
She
talking about?
doesn't
This
say
phaser
that as
bit?
quickly as I did. Yeah, praxis, yeah.
I'm a little busy, Commander. And why does my nurse have a phaser wound? I could really use her help right about now.
To be fair, she's only stunned, so... From field medic training...
The nurse starts thrashing. She seems to be... Something's wrong with her.
What? I will actually go over there and check her out, because she knows her weapon was on stun. Actually, it's not for me to roll. Go ahead, Doctor.
So real quick, everyone's sort of stable?
The current extended task before you have a short-term task and an extended task in front of you. The extended task is that everyone in here needs medical care. No one's dying, but if you don't check on everybody and make absolutely sure everyone's okay, a complication might arise in one of their, like someone might be short of breath, someone might have a wound you didn't notice when they, because you got a lot of people coming at you at the same time, and then now the nurse is dumped here, and you have no idea other than she's been shot, and now she's a separate problem altogether.
She's gonna walk over, pull out her medical tricorder, and begin a scan on the nurse.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you for a security plus daring. No, I'm just kidding. A medicine reason.
Difficulty?
2.
Take a threat and xenobiology for a focus.
I'll give you that. Yep.
Rerolling the 0.
Okay, so you generated yourself 2 momentum. From what you can tell, Nurse Fleur has gone into a rare form of shock. Stun setting is a less than lethal setting, but you're still hitting someone with a lot of energy, and it just happened to hit her physiology in a way that her body's overreacting to the threat. So she's actually in. The problem now is that you've now discovered for yourself, you have 2 extended tasks. You can either focus on for each set of intervals you're spending on her. You're not treating everyone. Now, she right now seems to be in distress, but you know that the longer you take to check out the rest of your patients, the more likely something's going to slip by you. Your medical staff is helping, but your primary assistant is currently on a biobed. Normally, Nurse Fleur would be doing one thing, and you'd get to handle other stuff. You're kind of shorthanded.
Yeah, actually, thinking on that, we still have communications, right? I can calm the bridge.
Oh, hell
It
yeah.
was just that section? Okay. She hits her comm badge. Lieutenant Commander, jaw to Lieutenant Wash.
Yes, Captain.
You're needed in sickbay immediately.
I turn around and look at the rest of the bridge, kind of like weirdly, unexpectedly, and like, and but still, yes, Captain. And then I look over at one of my people that take over the console and point out a couple of things to watch. And like on Star Trek Enterprise, or Star Trek Next Generation, where you fast walk but never run.
Yeah, power walking.
Power walk, yes. Get my extra, and then head to med bay.
Yep. The lieutenant commander looks at the doctor and says, "I got you a nurse until your nurse gets back up and walking around," which I do apologize profusely.
Wash looks
Me and
over
you
at
are
the
gonna have
captain, of
words
course,
later.
doesn't say anything, right?
That's fine and fair. She'll go, "If you excuse me," and she'll go to the bridge because she is of no use here at the moment. Oh, she will say, "And doctor, I would appreciate it if you, when you get the Alnomed situated, if you could please put a force field around him." Don't tie him down or anything, just please. For your safety. I don't trust these people. And I mean, they've proven nothing but hostile. So
Does the captain leave medbay?
yes.
Okay. All right. So between Washburn, you walk in. The captain leaves. Doctor seems to be doing something. A lot of injured people in here.
Dr. McNeil, Captain has ordered me here for you, so where would you like me first?
Please assist me with Nurse Furrow here.
Absolutely. And so it's that moment where I might go and stick my hands in, whatever that cleans them and sterilizes, does all that.
Yep.
Grab another medical tricorder just in case and get ready.
Okay. Since you're in medbay, you don't have to. You're not losing any momentum to quickly grab something you normally wouldn't have as part of your standard gear because you're standing in medbay. There are plenty of medical devices. That you can grab.
Tricorder. Medical tricorder.
Yeah. So yes, we are focusing our efforts on the good nurse Fleur. Just as a quick reminder, when you're doing since time is of the essence, one of the things you can't do when you generate momentum is you can spend, and each time you roll, you're going through 2. If you spend 2 momentum, you reduce the amount you went through by 1 to a minimum of 1. You always spend some amount of time. And this is amounting to like about 10-15 minutes worth of work per interval. So it's about a half hour worth of just hard checking, rechecking, stabilizing, checking different medications, and so on. But that all said, Dr. McNeil, what is your primary method of treating your good nurse, who seems to be in some sort of shock?
Wash, if you could prepare a neurocortical monitor, as well as the auto-neural stabilizer.
Yes, doctor, and I'll go over to the section where all the devices are and get the appropriate devices. and come back. I'll affix the cortical moniker to the side of her temple as it should go, and then the other one will go on the forehead, if I remember right, where it goes. Now, this is me assuming that you're talking about that one, the one that's on the forehead. And then say, "Ready, Doctor."
Due to your grabbing the appropriate gear to monitor a bit better, should you roll effects, you'll generate, for each effect, you'll generate 1 additional work.
Okay, what am I rolling?
You are rolling for me. I'm gonna call this a daring medicine test.
Same for me,
Yes,
but 1 die.
but 1 die.
Yeah. All right, so here's mine. Oh, no.
It is actually a very good daring medicine.
Yeah, I'm like, dude. I want to re-roll
What's
that. All the momentum.
What?
No, okay.
What was the difficulty? What
Difficulty
is
is
the
2. It's an extended test like the one on the sheet as well. It's the same. It's basically that extended test.
Emergency medicine for a focus?
Yes.
Take 3 threat.
I'll take 3 threat. Oh. Okay, you bank yourself 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7
That's
work.
0. Yep, and that 0 is explained by Wash getting asked a question. He's kind of like looks at her for a second and then walks over to the the big wall of data and says the first number. And he's like, no, sorry, it's this one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count 10 work. 15.
So what?
I counted morning breakthrough.
Yes, Doctor.
Are they both work 15?
Yes.
It's essentially a copy of the other task.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you wish to spend 2 momentum, Doctor, to reduce your interval? Use up 2 intervals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling again. Take 3 threat.
Taking 3 threat.
Ooh.
Difficulty was reduced by 1 because you got a breakthrough earlier, so you got 3 momentum there. But you have a complication down the pipeline. Spend a kill.
I re-rolled it.
No,
I re-rolled a cop.
Yeah.
Oh, bite my tongue. So.
Ooh.
I need a
dear.
momentum. To re-roll 5.
That fills the work track. You're going to spend 2 momentum to make sure you only use 1.
Yes.
Okay. So 2 intervals have passed. Fleur stabilized. I mean, she's going to be hurting in the morning, but whatever.
And now for the Sappho crew. Or Sappho crew. I'm going to spend my determination. Hesitation is as bad as inaction, or it's precision and diligence are Doctor's primary tools.
Say again, please. Sorry.
I'm going to spend my determination. I have 2 that I can think of that work in this instance is precision and diligence. are a doctor's primary tools, or hesitation is as bad as inaction?
I'll give you the second one.
Take a threat. And
I will.
Does emergency medicine apply for a focus? Or xenobiology?
In this case, I'll take. Do you have triage?
No.
Okay, I'm willing to give you one of those other focuses at an increased complication.
I'll just roll without a focus.
Okay. Now, if you like, you can. One of the things you can do between Washburn and the few staff that you have able to help you, and the difficulty has been adjusted, reflecting the fact that you have staff and you're in medbay. But you can spend 2 momentum right now. If you do, you basically have your medical staff simultaneously checking everything at once. Basically, everyone's moving at the same time. No one's really standing aside as backup. Everyone's just on somebody, and you're just directing everybody as you're working. If you do this, you'll give yourself the triumph effect, meaning that in this extended test, if you get a breakthrough and at least one effect during your work roll, you'll have 2 breakthroughs instead of just 1.
Sure.
Okay, 2 momentum gone. You have 2 intervals left.
Is this still daring medicine?
Yes, it is.
Rerolling 1. That's 4.
Because of your determination, yep.
Yeah.
That should be it.
Should be it.
Yeah, because you got your 2 breakthroughs right there and then. So yeah. All said and done. That text shouldn't be there. Whoops! The room moves around. No, I'm just...
You can, if you right click on the map and then the image and move it to the map layer, you don't have to worry about that. Accidentally moving the map.
Oh no, I had the text on the map layer. So, oops. But we're okay now. So yes, after all is said and done, you guys spent a good hour scrambling around, the whole crew scrambling around, checking this person, checking that person. One person looks like they're about to get bad. You manage to keep them safe. You keep people from moving around or getting up from their chair, because some crews start coming around, and if they get up and start moving around, that makes life harder for you. So there's a lot of putting people back down again. Some people have to be sedated. But by the end of the hour, that was the most busiest hour in your lives. No one's dying. Everyone's kind of hurt and needs bed rest, but nobody's dying.
Doctor, how many of these patients do you feel would need to stay in sick bay, and how many would we like to get in separate quarters, maybe for bed rest?
Let's set up a triage unit in one of the vacant rooms. I like to keep them all sort of isolated for the time being. As for the Almed, let's confine him to before he wakes up to the brig. Assuming he's safe to move.
Absolutely, Doctor. I hit my comm badge. Wash to security.
Security here, go ahead.
I need a few security and a transportable biobed to move the what's he called? Alamed? Sorry, that's
Alamed.
Jamie messing up. Alamid. Alamid to the brig as carefully as possible, but be secure.
Mr. Washburn, please give me a present security test, difficulty 2.
Present secure. Oh shit! I did put on the comm, but the doctor told me. Okay, no, just kidding. Okay, present presence command. Oh lord. Yeah, I don't have any focuses for this one, but I'm not going to use a determination just to get security comes. So let's see. 2 dice. What is it? 1 momentum right now for the extra dice because of no determination, right? Just 1 moment. So I'll spend 1 momentum for just the extra die. And again, no focuses. Okay. Oh! Actually, I should have asked you if that could be threat so that I could re-roll one of those zeros.
Is no.
You don't.
Command?
You don't have.
But it's too late.
Yeah, you don't
Was it-
have full command.
Can I
Yeah, I
assist
do.
with that?
You had bold con.
Oh, bold con. Thank you. That's correct. Okay, sorry. Ah, I get that now. I get that now. Okay, good.
Doctor,
Can I
you asked
assist
if you
with
could
that?
assist. You certainly
So I'll
can.
give you-
Ooh.
Security happens to be busy right now, Doctor, so that one might be on hold for a little bit until they clear up from all the stuff that's been going on.
And security is not on the doctor's side.
Shh.
You, and you stay here, monitor the patients. Lieutenant, you're with me. Let's grab the Bobbit over here. We'll move the patient to the brig ourselves.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, this is gonna go swell.
And give me either a insight medicine or insight security test, difficulty 1. When you move them,
Is that for both of us or just?
one of you is the primary and one of you is the assist.
Oh, okay,
I have a
I have a
15.
13. Okay, you're primary. Absolutely. Let me put it to 1 die. There we go.
I'm also empath. Is he mentally becoming aware?
Shit.
I'll reduce difficulty down to 0. If you're an empath.
Psychology
Yeah, I'll give
for
you that.
focus?
And it's one of those moments where when we're walking out of sick bay though, and we're doing it, we'll go to the special locker, and at least grab one weapon for whether it be me or the doctor, so that we at least still have a type 1 phaser in case we need to stun him. Since security is not with us.
Type 1s you would have normally on you anyway. It's something you can tuck away in a pocket.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gotcha. Okay.
So, 1 success, which was difficulty 0.
So you generate 1 momentum.
And what's going on?
You get into the hallway. You get him onto a bio bed, a movable bio bed, which doesn't cost you anything because you're in med bay. You have a. And as you're stepping out, you notice that you can feel him psychically. You can feel him kind of coming to, and he's mildly alarmed and confused. Like he's not entirely aware where he is. He just knows he's not where he last was when he fell unconscious.
Doctor, should we sedate him again?
Way ahead of you on that. Yeah, I already instantly apply a sedative.
Yep, I hand the doctor to the hypospray, which is already programmed to whatever normal milligrams it should be. And like a nurse, I hand it to her appropriately. Here, doctor.
Well, these do not want to be consistent. So anyway, as you're moving him along, you sedate him. The last thing you get before he goes out is that he a sense of abject terror, and then he goes out. Like he half remembered something, and then he was gone again.
She kind of perks her eyebrow up and kind of goes, interesting. Lieutenant?
Absolutely, Doctor.
Carry on.
And we continue moving the biobed towards the brig.
Back to the bridge.
Oh, I'm not there, so I moved me.
Captain on the bridge.
Stand up. Make way for her.
I'll be back at the exo station by now.
All right. She walks to her chair. Actually, she walks to Garrix and kind of leans down and apologizes earnestly that she did what she did. And then walks to her chair and report.
Go ahead.
We're still under air warp. All systems is going well. No side effects. From our temporal cooling system.
Oh right, I forgot you were incapacitated for that. Lieutenant Garrix and Mr. Allen have gotten the engine working fairly well. Yeah, it's been working like a dream. Anything else?
Well, we are currently on a rendezvous course with the Alnamid fighter that pursued us. Hopefully, we were able to convince them to engage in negotiations for the return of prisoners. Hopefully.
Okay. And Jal is now thinking and saying in her brain is going, well, now I'm going to have to call a meeting because I don't know how we're going to explain the disassembled fighter in our hangar bay. So, she will look at the bridge crew, and she will also open a comm link to Wash and the doctor. And first she'll go, Doctor, Lieutenant, if you aren't busy, please come to the conference room. And I look at the bridge crew and say, if you would please join me in the conference room. And she gets up and walks towards the conference room.
You hear over the comms, yes, Captain.
I saw you pick up my pad and go into the conference room.
Garrix nods and follows.
Yep.
Lieutenant Jolson, you get your combat chirps at you, like someone's trying
Jolson
to hit. Yeah, this is lab 5. We still needed to have that depart.
Still
We're waiting
need
for
to
you,
have what, sir?
Yeah, you're cutting out, Altera, in Discord.
Yeah, and also, Jolson, remember you're the ranking officer, other than
Yeah.
me. The only person you really have to sir is me.
Okay. Force of habit. But yeah, Altera, you are breaking up.
Lieutenant Jolson, this is the science department. We're waiting for that department for the science department.
Yeah, I look at Joel. When do you want to have this meeting? Commander Joel.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. As soon as possible. As in
Now.
Okay.
nowish.
Science. Joel's in the science lab. I will be with you in 1 hour. Or please prepare a report for then.
Acknowledge, Lieutenant. Well, medbay to the captain.
Yes.
We got your page from for the meeting. The doctor and Ensign Washburn are still in the middle of medical procedures. We passed along the message, but they can't step away for at least an hour, maybe 2.
Oh, okay. I get it. This is going concurrently. Got it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was confused at time frame. I was like, wait, they should be free. Okay. Very well. I will fill them in whenever they finish. All right. And she will walk to the conference room.
GM, could I grab notes from the helm officer as I step on by?
You can probably summon it from your pad, and you ping the flight department. Go, hey, I want some quick notes, and they can just send it to you.
All right, fair enough.
Joel's there. Selena's there. Eric's, the trader's there.
Yep.
Wilson's there. Huh? Did I say that out loud?
But
Alan would be there, but he's currently somewhere else on the ship, several pieces.
sorry, Alan. Shouldn't have gone homicidal.
Where he should stay.
Oh, you're a different kind of trader, Selena.
You have your conference room.
All right. Now, am I to believe that somebody agreed to talking with the Al-Named?
It seemed like the best option at the time. We were ill-suited for another engagement with them.
That was why I gave the order to go to warp, Lieutenant. I have no intentions of talking or fighting.
They were matching or exceeding our speed at the time. What should I have done?
I mean, what we did last time seemed to work. Ducking into a system, going cold. Granted, it may have been a long shot that they fell for it twice, but we already know they're obviously hostile. They did blow a hole in our ship for what I consider no good reason.
Well, the fact remains they're also still, if Admiral Trailblazer is to be believed, in possession of the rest of Victoria's original crew. We both have something. We do need something from them in the end.
Yes, but see, the thing about negotiations is we have to have something they want. I don't think we do, except for ourselves.
We have one of their. We have one of their people we beamed up from aboard the Sappho. It's a start.
And she just kind of like puts her like fingers to her nose. I apologize for I did not call this meeting to chastise anybody. But you also have to think, how are we to explain the disassembled fighter in the cargo bay?
We recovered it and needed to use parts to recover our drive systems.
The truth,
she looks at Lieutenant Selena. Selena, are there anywhere in their laws that permits the use of? And she kind of uses like not air quotes, but like says it in a tone that is meant to be, Basically theft of parts by necessity. Is there anything in their laws about that? And a punishment for it?
I am very sure that there are salvage rights. Hold on, let me look up salvage rights section.
Give me insight con or insight security, difficulty 2.
I'm going to use one of those fancy momentums.
Okay. I'll give it to you. Oh, and you generated 2 momentum there, being an inexperienced person you.
All right, what does it give me?
But yes, according to Al-Nomed law, it is permissible to they do have a version of salvage rights. Should there be a dispute in the matter, trials by combat or by court can be applied. But they're salvage rights. It's just they also have the right of contention.
So they can contend our use of the salvage rights, but if we were to have happened to have come across a diplomatic shuttle that had, let's say, less than appropriate ends, we are allowed to use it.
See, maybe I didn't word that properly. We have an ambassadorial shuttle that is disassembled in our cargo bay that they know landed on this ship. Because I assume we have figured out that it was the exact same ship. That's why we ran. I mean, that's why I...
Yep, it was the same one.
Yeah. So, not only that, but their ambassadorial crew is dead.
Well, did they technically start shooting first?
No, Lieutenant, they blew themselves up in the brig and took out the entire brig on deck 14.
The major ship doesn't know that.
But they know that there were Al-Nomed on board.
And those Al-Nomed did initiate hostile actions.
It's not our fault they died by trial by combat.
At the risk of sounding naive, wouldn't the truth be best in this situation anyway? The situation did escalate beyond our ability to control, but that doesn't mean it has to continue to do so.
Mr. Garrix, their law is designed in such a way to be in their favor at all times. We are in their space, therefore we are at a disadvantage, and the truth might just get you killed.
For once, I actually agree with Lieutenant Selena.
What?
Lieutenant Garrix.
Very well.
There is one other option. It's a long shot. But I've had time to brief Mr. Garrix about a release valve. I have not had time to brief the senior staff about. But we do have a secondary release system by which to funnel all of our cold running energy. It would shoot it through the deflector dish. It's only one shot, and it'll burn out the dish, but it would be one hell of a bang.
Oh, one of those situations.
It seems awfully... that seems a little extreme in this situation, don't you think?
Could there be ways to reinforce the dish?
Actually, what if we could use the beam in a different way?
What do you have in mind?
Flashbang. Blind their sensors. Use the heat to blind their sensors.
If we can space out the thermal register, we could possibly do that without burning out our own deflector dish. And if we know what frequency we're tuning to, we could tune our sensors off that.
The problem
Alright.
is, it might take a tremendous amount of heat to do that, though.
We've been traveling at high warp for a couple of hours now, Lieutenant. I assume those blocks are red hot.
Most likely.
Engineering to Lieutenant Garrix.
Garrix here, go ahead.
Yes, we have the android in workroom 5. We have everything set down here. Any further orders, sir, or do we just kind of leave it?
Monitor it for now. If you detect any activity, alert me immediately. But for now, I would prefer that it's not touched. Keep it behind a force field.
Well, 2 threat is being spent currently. Well, sir, it does seem that it's what was that again? Positronic neurons? Okay, positronic neurons are seeming to degrade with lack of use. If we don't put some power into him, he might not turn back on again.
Oh dear. Captain, I know this is not a good time, but we have to make a decision about what to do with him now.
I think we should at least put him
Let
on minimum.
die.
Here's what I want you to do, Lieutenant Garrix. If you do rebuild him, I want a clean slate. I don't want any previous programming in him.
Captain, he's a sentient being. That seems like a gross violation.
A sentient being that can be controlled by Section 31 at will.
Not to mention that he has attacked members of this crew, members of our senior staff. If he was a flesh and blood being, he would be arrested for attempted murder at this moment.
I do, however, defer to your judgment as to what you... And she doesn't like using the word because she knows Alan is sentient. Install, like she actually says that kind of with disgust, a new personality into him. I will let that be your call.
Very well.
Or you could give him his old personality. I just want no old subroutines.
That seems... I kind of agree with Garrix. This is a gross violation of his personal autonomy.
Lieutenant Garrix, I need orders. Do we plug him into something, or do we let him shut down?
Keep the power levels minimal. I'll be there shortly. I'll and then cuts off the communication. This has become urgent, Captain. May be dismissed.
Yes, Lieutenant. Go ahead.
Thank you.
That's not what I was asking for, if that's what you were talking about.
Oh, it isn't. No, that's something that's just responding. They hadn't got immediate orders, so it's going to cost some momentum to keep Alan functional long enough for Garrix to get down there.
Yeah, spend the momentum. I don't want him to lose his character. I just, don't need him to be a Section 31 murder bot. So... She kind of looks at Jolson and Selena and say, any ideas on how we can blind some sensors? I don't have any intention in talking to these people. They've proven...
I think the flashbang idea has some merit. We'd have to reinforce our own deflector to, not blow out.
Is it theoretically possible, GM?
To blind them with a wave of heat? Theoretically, sure.
Question.
This is Star Trek.
Question. Can I spend 2 momentum to say my great-grandfather did something very similar to this?
I mean, I made a roll for that.
No, I would, but
I'm gonna say no in this case.
no, dang.
But I did make a roll to see if that was theoretically possible and what we would have to do.
Also, the Enterprise did something similar with anti-proton spread. Confused sensors errors for at least a little bit.
We just need long enough to duck out of warp space and hide behind a celestial body and activate our cold running. Then, with any luck, Ensign Wash's fancy flying, or Lieutenant Wash's fancy flying, will keep us away from their sensors.
That's number 2.
All right. I think it can be done, Captain. We would have to change. I have it at 4 if you count the 2 from my roll. If we're counting my roll, if not, then yes, it would be.
Because one was spent by you for that third die. And then you have to spend one more to keep Alan alive. Oh, you got 2, and then you got 2 back.
Yep.
So you're back to 3.
Okay. That's fair.
In that regard, I think it can be done. I don't know if we've got time. We should, as much as you hate.
Actually, Selena and Jolson.
How much time do we have before a rendezvous?
Looking at the current diagram, I count 38 hours, GM, more or less.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, I should have some time to run some tests and do some fancy engineering.
That's good because you have 20. And she does
20 hours
point
it
out,
is.
She does point out if they do need help with any engineering thing while Garrix is indisposed, she will be happy to help. And then she looks at the both of you and says, well, get to work, and dismissed.
Let me give some orders to my crew, my replacement, and I'll be right with you.
And she goes back and sits in her chair.
Okay, so poof. Selena, you are heading where?
I would assume main deflector control.
After I give orders to my replacement, yes, that's where I would be headed.
Jolson, what are you up to?
Where did Joel end up?
I'm out on the bridge.
Actually, I would like to talk to you in private for a moment.
Okay, well, just come out and we'll go in my ready room then.
Yep.
I see how it is.
Yep.
Conference room isn't good enough for you.
It's a little too
I love
early.
it. Right?
Lieutenant?
Are you really feeling comfortable about brainwashing a sentient being?
No,
Or in this
I'm
case,
not.
literally washing?
I'm not, Lieutenant, but he has programming in him that I'm afraid, even if we did do this and give him a clean slate, it may still activate.
Well, what's programming aimed besides just memories? I mean, it could be said that you and I have programming from Starfleet Academy to do our job.
I was told, yes, but none of us would hold a nurse hostage and claim the ship for Section 31. Lieutenant.
So, because as Alan is synthetic, and a threat to our ship, we can do this to him.
If I could ask his consent with knowing it was his actual consent, I'd ask him. But as of right now, he has not only impersonated an officer, because I did see him do that in the hall. I was actually there the one time he did it. I don't want to have to do it. As quirky as he was, he was efficient. However, it's that hidden programming, Jolson. And I'm afraid if we leave him the way he is, it will cost many more crew members their lives than just his.
I'm just trying to make us prepared to make that report.
If I thought I had another choice, and I thought that any of the engineers on this ship could take out that kind of programming, I'd leave him the way he is. However, as talented as Lieutenant Garrix is, I don't think that he has the ability. Leaving me with the one option. And she does look sullen about it, like she's not taking this lightly. So, is there anything else, Lieutenant?
Well, I wasn't accusing you of taking this flippantly. I just wanted to present alternatives to you, like a good first officer.
If you have any, please, by all means.
We could just hold him prisoner or until we get back to Starfleet.
See, we already tried that, Lieutenant. He has, as he is now, he has more access to this ship than any of us. With what I saw, it... I wish that could have been an option. We were trying that option. So.
Okay.
I appreciate your thought in the matter, Lieutenant. I truly do.
In the meantime, looks like I have a solar system-wide flashbang to make.
It appears you do. Let me know if you need any assistance. I'll be here on the bridge. Dismiss, Lieutenant, if there's nothing else.
That is all, Captain.
Alright.
And I make off to the lab I was talking to earlier.
Yep.
As you walk into the lab, you don't see just your assistant department head of science. You also see the rest of the shall we say senior staff of science, like basically all the head scientists and researchers, minus the crewmen, like the technicians, and what have you.
So my fellow nerds.
Yes. Although you know on a glance this is more than just a departmental update meeting. Like, there's too many.
There's what?
It's overkill. It's overkill. There's too many people at the meeting.
All right, gentlemen. What's the problem?
Well, Lieutenant, they kind of look among each other uncomfortably. One of them looks back to you. And we're going to say one finally steps forward. I'm going to check this person's rank, see how brave they are. An ensign Varista Elam, a communications officer who works with the science department. Well, Lieutenant, I don't know how to say this, and I don't mean in are you sure we should be following security's lead on this? We've almost died. We've had a whole deck destroyed. And it seems the security department has locked down all armories. There seems to be some quiet investigations going on for all departments. And rumor has it that Lieutenant Commander Jal shot a member of the medical staff who was at the center. And further, we think maybe someone from the senior staff should speak with the Admiral before another assassination attempt is made.
Is this your official report?
This is not official, sir. We have security combing around asking a lot of uncomfortable questions, and for some reason you've been mysteriously sick and unable to talk to us for a while. So that's why we didn't want to put it on the records for security to comb over.
Well, I assure you that at the security teams are still Starfleet, and they're still doing everything they can to do their jobs, keeps us safe. While our job obviously to explore strange new things, and security is to protect us as from strange new things and familiar old things. The Admiral and dissenters in the crew who might propose a threat to us and our survival.
So you're saying, sir, that we should be supporting the Lieutenant Commander in this?
Absolutely.
Give me command plus presence. Difficulty 2.
And this is where I get shot.
Oh, this is me! Oh, man!
Burn that determination.
Focus and
Wash's
negotiations.
ears are burning right now.
Say again, Jolson?
Focus and negotiation.
What are you offering?
I'm offering if they continue supporting the commander, I can assure us that we can return home to Federation space and get back to exploring like we all signed on for.
I'll let you do it, but a complication.
With the complication increase, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here I go.
Hey. Got yourself one momentum there. All right. Just be careful. The ship's gotten a lot more dangerous lately.
We're still Starfleet officers. I expect you to act like it. Is that understood, Ensign?
Aye, sir. Lieutenant, can I ask a question? It's unrelated. It's not quite related.
By all means.
What's going to happen with the android? We heard engineering's looking at him, but we weren't sure if they wanted our help or if they were handling it, or...
It appears that they're handling it, and there were some bugs in his programming that we're looking at fixing. If we need any programming help, I'll be sure to let you know.
All right, sir. Any standing orders for the team? We haven't really had anything to study for the last while, but we didn't know. I mean, we can stay in the lab.
I could at least have you working on chronoton and temporal mechanics, brushing up on that. I have a feeling that this new warp core, while it is functioning properly, I want to see if there's ways we can make it function more, or if there's any other tricks we can do with it.
Assuming adherence to temporal prime directive, of course.
Of course.
Or okay, just one.
Just as so we have possibilities. I also, of course, want astronavigators and astrometrics scanning our systems, getting star charts updated.
Do you want us to speak with Ensign Wash about that?
Lieutenant?
Or that hasn't been announced to the crew.
Damn it.
Only
yes.
the senior staff know.
Yes, as I would like you to speak to Lieutenant Wash now about astronavigating and updating star charts.
Is there two Washburns aboard, sir?
No. Ensign Washburn has been promoted.
Oh, good for him. Yeah. Everyone seems to perk up like, hey, good news, finally, you know.
Otherwise, as far as the temporal initiative, let's keep everything theoretical for now. Let's not do any practical experiments without my direct supervision.
Yes, sir.
Was there anything else?
The ensign looks around. The other officers kind of all nod. Some are already working on something on their pad, like they're already working right there in the middle. I'm gonna take that as a no, sir.
Dismissed.
Some people start dispersing. The couple guys on their pads have to be tapped by a barista going, like, oh, right. And they get back.
I step out of the hallway, take a deep breath. Okay, that could have been worse.
Just then, Washburn rounds the corner.
Oh, it's been an hour. Oh, good. Okay.
Lieutenant.
Oh, yes. I need your rank now, Commander. Lieutenant Commander.
It's Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
For him. Yeah.
I'm still Lieutenant.
Me, I'm just still getting the ranks down for everybody, so I know who I'm calling. So absolutely, I say yes, Lieutenant. Just got back out of med bay. That was cutting it close there for a little bit.
Is everything okay? Did Was there any complications from that?
I mean, there could have been, but Dr. McNeil is excellent at her job, and her nurse Fleur, as well as the Alamed, are both fine. And we've just now moved the Alamed to the brig for our protection. So, I think everything as far as that is good. And the others from the Sappho are just need a lot of bed rest, but coming around.
Excellent. I actually kind of want to talk to you. I have a restless science department.
Oh, I
'Cause-
can imagine with stuff going on these last few days. Yeah.
I was actually wondering if you could help lead them on some star chart art updating, some astronavigating, and cartography stuff, just to keep him busy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he says, and okay, and Wash will say, and it'll give me a chance to, speak with the crew and see how they're doing, and
Yeah. I figured. I know it seems like busy work for us, but sometimes keeping the hands busy keeps them from wandering into unsavory positions, or however that Earth saying goes.
No, absolutely. Considering that we're already dealing with engines that technically break the temporal prime directive as default, we are on touchy ground right now.
Yeah, and I think in getting back to some good old standard or stellar cartography will kind of help ease some nerves. So if you can head up on that, at Lieutenant, I would appreciate it.
Absolutely. I will. Are they in any specific lab, or are they down in engineering? Or
They're
science?
actually in Lab 5. Right now. I have another team working on something else, but I dedicated half the staff to stellar cartography for now.
Excellent. And it's one of those where Washes just kind of mentions to Lieutenant is like, I haven't heard anything from the captain or otherwise, so I was just going to go check on the kids. So do you mind if I do that really quick for a couple minutes, then I'll head right there?
Huh? Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of a long-standing order.
Oh, understood.
You guys carry out your business?
Yep, and basically would that be all, Lieutenant?
Yep, you're dismissed.
Thank you, sir. And I head off down the hallway to check on the studies and such. And then after that, once I make sure, just kind of check in with their teachers, check in with whoever, I will then head to Lab 5.
Very good. Now then.
I would say that there is a part of this too where Wash is, since my value is voice of the crew, this is also my chance to listen to how people are feeling and not exactly tell any truths or lies, but just help them understand that everything's being taken care of, everybody's on it, kind of thing, But also listen for anything that I feel is important that I should let senior staff know about if there is a worry or concern.
Very good. Give me a insight plus command roll, or insight con. Difficulty, I'm going to say 2.
Insight con would work for me, and then let's see. Complication range is still 1. Dice right now is 2. No focus. I'm debating on. Yeah, part of me said, well, wait. Well, I have a milestone. No, I want to use my milestone for something else. I'm using my determination in case we have to fly and hide in another stellar moment. So I think I'll just spend one moment. Because this is con. Thank you, Jal. Because this is con, I will spend 1 threat for that 3rd die.
Right.
And yeah, no focuses, so no. And I will re-roll that 0. Thank God. There we go.
Very good. You generate 1 momentum.
Cool.
And the general sense of the crew is the crew's loyal. A lot of the dissent, there has been whisperings of dissent, but a lot of it's been, all the departments seem by the actions of the senior staff between Lieutenant Selena and Lieutenant Jolson. There's been a lot of calming of the nerves. Don't worry, we support y'all. Dr. McNeil apparently talked to her staff. Medical were kind of razzed about it. Engineering seems fine. Security's loyal as ever. Flight's kind of been following your lead on this. Everyone, Flight's a lot of pilots and navigators and astro navigator types who are all kind of they've been busy with the ship, so they haven't had a whole lot of time to get mixed up with shipboard politic. They've kind of been, if you say something's wrong, then something's wrong. If you don't say anything's wrong, they get back to work. And they're happy with you. The ship hasn't crashed, so they have shuttles to play with, so they're fine. They're kind of wondering why everyone else is so damn tense. But you're on
Absolutely.
a propulsion-based ship, so of course the flight department is probably the highest morale on the ship.
And for any reason, if one of them or anybody happens to mention Alan, like I said, I won't go out of my way to give them any specific information because that's not my position. But I will basically give them my understanding that no, of course, that he's a sentient being. That's not we don't want to take that away. That's not the issue. It's Section 31 being able to flip a switch and turn him from one being into another. That's uncontrollable. That's the problem. And if we can squelch that switch problem, that type of thing. But until we figure that out, he's a danger.
A lot of the crew that you do speak to seem a little they don't know what Section 31 is. By and large, most people don't. The few that do are like, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds like something they do. What a jerk thing of them to do. Poor Alan. Like, no one seems to be blaming Alan on this. The few people who everyone gets the sense of Alan was not. He's a civilian who's in a rough spot. And
and I think I feel that way too. Yeah. Like, as long as somebody's not, like, every once in a while sticking their finger in his brain and twisting a screw without his permission. Yeah, exactly.
The last thing I'll say about the crew is still at a loss about what there are two issues that the crew, they're not dissenting on this. It's more of a crew anxiety moment. But one is everyone's still wondering what the heck's going on with the Admiral, why he's being held. There's people seem still unclear on that. And two, there's a lot of excitement in general that the original Sappho crew seem to be recovered. No one's really sure if they all know that they're in medbay, so everyone's kind of concerned for them, and they'll be happy that once they recover, everything's going to go back to normal. And that seems to be the general feels, that everyone feels like they might get back to Sappho, they might get back to normal.
Absolutely. So I will let them know that I was just in medbay, and they're most, everybody's fine. They need bed rest. And then as far as the Admiral, since I have a question for Jamie, has a question for clarification. Since the captain mentioned it to across the bridge, is that, as far as the ambassador, a closed conversation, or am I allowed to speak on it because the captain did?
You mean the Admiral?
The Admiral, sorry. I keep thinking Ambassador. Admiral, yeah.
Yeah, I believe I made a ship-wide announcement about that.
Yeah, and so my part will fill in, and I'll be like, there's still some question about that, but at this time, there has been proof that the Admiral sold the original crew of the Victoria to the enemy, and he needs to go for judgment. Now, things of this ship been kind of weird, considering, like I said, Alan and everything, but it's still true that he has to go up before a judge for his crew. Would you like? And then if anybody kind of has that dissenting, it'll just be like one where Wash will ask the question, like, would you like to be sold to another race of or another type of people?
I wasn't
one of the-
sold. I said they were given.
Or
like, they
given,
were
sorry.
taken,
No,
yeah.
right. No, but this is just Wash mentioning the idea as a question.
One
so
of the operations department kind of approaches you in a, since we're using con, we're sort of in a formal, you're less than a buddy and more of a like a more formal setting when you're addressing people. Not like you're not commanding down at people, but you're just making sure no one's saying anything. Like you're making sure everyone's aware that it's safe to talk to you. It's fine,
right,
let's
unless
work
any
this
boundaries
out.
are crossed. Yeah, exactly.
An operations officer meets with you in the mess. Doesn't really make any great effort to make this a quiet, but isn't like shouting it to the whole room. By the way, congratulations on your promotion. I hear you made lieutenancy.
Thank you.
You should probably talk to the captain about getting your PIP ceremony, though. The longer that takes, the longer it'll be to. It just affects things later. But don't worry, that's not why I wanted to have lunch with you.
Understood.
So I heard that the admiral was charged. I just have a question though. I know the captain registered it, but I looked over the laws real quick, the regulations, and it says here that you need 3 officers of rank to levy an accusation against an officer, especially an admiral. I have record of the shipboard announcement from the captain, but I was going to start the paperwork for getting the admiral charged and everything when we get this. I was going to report to Lieutenant Selena about it, but I heard you talking to people, and Lieutenant, I can't find the other people accusing him. It's just the captain right now. We need 2 other people on record. Otherwise, we're just unlawfully imprisoning.
At that moment, I say yes. Since there is outstanding evidence, the captain at this time is taking a precedent of hold until things become in a place, especially with everything going on the ship.
Lieutenant.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I understand. Things take time. But I think the best thing to do if you have these concerns is go directly to Lieutenant Jolson or straight to the captain, please. This is one of those where you need to nip the middlemen in the bud. And if you're the one doing the specific paperwork, directly to the captain, please. That would be my opinion.
You're going to have to give this guy a presence command difficulty 3, because you're basically asking him to jump past.
I know. Well, okay. Let's pause it this way. I'll pause and say, have you already spoken to Lieutenant Selena about this?
No, I wanted to check with you. I thought maybe the paperwork just was sitting on someone's pad somewhere, and you seem to be the only one in the senior staff that's telling us the entire story. So.
Oh, understood. Okay, so at that moment, I say, I think this would probably be a moment where you very well should follow the chain of command. That is important, but I feel in this situation maybe that the captain should be involved, and so maybe set an appointment for you, Lieutenant Selena, and the captain to have a meeting, so that again, no middleman issue of conversation, so that when the captain has Jamie's trying to think of the word. So that when you guys get together, that there is an understanding.
Right. Okay. Okay, sir. I will ask you for a presence command roll difficulty 2 instead.
Okay. And of course, this isn't con, so damn it. Okay. Okay. Right. So I can't spend a threat. So I will spend 1 moment. No what? I'm spending 3. I want this to go through.
3 momentum?
Yes. Because I have no focuses, so I'm going to have to hope for the best on this. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I needed that extra one, so 2. Barely.
All right. Thanks, Lieutenant. And again, really, you need to set up an appointment about that. That's it. Just you're gonna have paperwork. If we don't have this done before Starbase, you're not gonna like having to fill out the amount of pads you're gonna.
And I'll mention that I've kind of already filled out stuff. We're just, again, because of everything going on the ship, it's just right now that's not a priority. But absolutely,
Yeah.
Thank you for your assistance and what's the word? Fabulous tips, fabulous idea. I can't think of the word, but But yeah, thank you for your help.
You have a good one. And he waves his pad at you and steps away to go off to get work done.
And at that moment, it would be that hypothetical moment where if nobody's looking at me, my head hits the table with that big.
Very good. So, what we're in now is we have a clock before you meet you and the Victoria and the Nomad fighter rendezvous at the star system. So, we're going to be doing a bit more broad strokes here because a lot of things are being done that take time. And we're going to start with, we got through Ross just now. We're going to go to Lieutenant Gierix.
Alrighty.
Currently, you're in your workshop. Alan is sort of disassembled, but they've kind of plugged him into some portable batteries. That way, it's just keeping everything warmed up, and he doesn't just shut off completely.
All right. First things first, I think I guess want to be able to appraise what damage was actually done and what actually needs to be done before it actually function properly.
Alan, remind me, did you have any injuries or stress last we left you?
I was left with 3 out of.
Jaw messed him
12.
up. He's got claw
15.
marks on
3
his
out
neck.
3 out of 15. So you could say structural damage.
Yeah, there's some structural damage, but we never got you to. Oh, we got you to injury level.
Yes, but never to fatal. I don't think.
No.
Darks?
Yeah.
Oh, because the claws are technically lethal, so.
Yeah, my claws are lethal, so there's claw marks on him. You can tell Jaw was the one that fought him.
Hold on. Lieutenant Gierix, to answer your question, there does seem to be significant structural damage to Alan. He will need some rather thorough repair structurally before he is structurally sound. And on top of that, he is inactive otherwise, though, so he doesn't have any. And the bomb that would have destroyed him didn't go off, so it's just a matter of powering him back on. I mean, right as it is now, if you fix the structural and turn him back on, he'll just turn back on again. But you have to.
Yeah, I got to deal with
wave level. He's not destroyed.
Yeah, I also got to deal with the programming stuff. Ugh, okay, ethical quandaries, my favorite thing. Okay. Next thing I think to do is try to look at his programming and determine how deep the Section 31 protocols are, if I can.
All right. So we're gonna have a good old time with scientific methods mixing in with the rest of everyone else. Unfortunately, you're the only one working on this project currently, so have fun with that. Jal, you don't have to worry about it. So my question to you is, does your character believe that this programming issue is a matter of science, engineering, or medicine?
I would say engineering.
Okay, give me a engineering plus reason roll. Difficulty 1. You're just making sure that you're right.
Ship help.
You're not just chasing something down.
Alrighty. I don't think I have any focuses that will apply here, so let's just inside difficulty 1, right?
Yeah, just difficulty 1.
Okay.
Ship help at all?
No, not this time.
Okay.
Alright, well, there we made it.
You have confirmed that this is not an engineering issue. structurally he's not doing great, but the programming is a computer side thing. It's but it doesn't seem to be engineered.
Okay.
Like it's not a hardware switch or like any sort of device in him that's doing it.
Huh. Wacky. Okay. I guess the next thing I would imagine would be science then.
Okay, give me another roll. Reason plus.
Reason plus science. Okay, I'll go ahead and spend a momentum on that.
Okay. Got yourself a momentum.
All right, got one back. Cool.
This is indeed a.
You're cutting out again, but I think you said software, right?
This is a science issue. Yes.
Oh, science. Okay.
Oh, great. Okie doke. All right. So it's a science issue.
I can totally pull some people off my temporal core.
Okay. One thing I'm going to try to do outside the box here, and feel free to tell me this won't work. Would it be possible to create an interface between Alan's program and the holodeck so I could speak to the program directly? Like in facsimile of Alan's body.
As in, speak to Alan's consciousness?
Exactly, yes.
If you spend one momentum, sure. Actually, you know what? I'll charge you 2 momentum for that. But you could do it.
All right, let's spend those 2 then. Maybe he can help me rewrite his own program.
Yeah, it is sad that the only person with cybernetics or computers is the one who can't help.
So Garrix, you're able to step into the holodeck, and with a few very carefully worded commands, you're able to bring Alan into, at least Alan's consciousness, into being on the holodeck.
Okay, and we're also setting up a simulation of Earth, let's say New Orleans. There's a restaurant I always wanted to try there.
Okay.
Oh my gods.
Alan, you're in New Orleans. You're awake. At current time, you have no values. The directive's gone. You're just kind of here now.
Mr. Allen, hello. I was hoping to speak with you.
He looks at you it's as puzzled as an android could be that doesn't feel confusion. He's just staring at you.
Well, you did express interest in going to Earth, so I thought I'd give you a preview. You're with me on the holodeck, you've been damaged, and we have some concerns.
They are?
Mostly that your program seems to be compromised by what we believe to be Section 31. We believe that they can override your program. Is your self-diagnostic able to confirm this?
I've told you as much.
All right. I need to know if you can help me remove that.
We can try.
Very good. All right then. So, what I'm going to need you to do is help me identify which sections of your programming are native and which have been tampered with. Can you do that?
I can, but based on the people who built me, I don't know that there is a distinction between what you consider malicious and native.
That does put us in a bit of a bind. What modifications would you make?
Survival is my primary function. I would start to approach the problem from maintaining my survival.
That sounds reasonable. What about how you deal with threats to your survival? Because there have been instances, and I might be applying my own perspective on here, where if you've reacted to perceived threats in ways that seemed extreme.
All of those decisions were made by precise calculation. I don't see a way around having made those decisions.
Was it that precise calculation that led you to hold my wife hostage?
I held your wife hostage to give me time to talk to you. I could not stop from executing the Section 31 programming, but I had control over how I implemented that, and I decided to implement it by sowing confusion. And part of that confusion was to give you contradictory orders. And when I gave you the contradictory orders, I gave you the information you needed to know that I was not in control. And I could not guarantee that I could survive long enough to get you that message unless I had a guarantee that I would not be fired upon. And that I was mistaken. I thought Starfleet personnel did not attack their own. That was a miscalculation on my part.
I think it wasn't just your miscalculation there. If this is going to work, and you're going to remain a part of this crew, even temporarily, we need to start learning to trust each other. Which is why I'm going to allow you to help me make these modifications, if you'll allow me.
You can do what you need as long as I survive.
Very well. Let's begin. So I guess we change the holodeck to try to feed us the diagnostics from engineering and start working on altering the portions of his program that the Section 31 directives can influence.
Okay, now the next step you have entered. Are you calling any further help, or is it going to just be you and Alan on the project?
Can I use my engineering team advantage to lower difficulties?
I'll say yes. You can bring some of your engineering team to kind of help you along with this.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do then.
Ooh, actually, no, I cannot. It's a science issue.
Oh, darn it! Right.
I have a science of 4.
Okay, yeah,
Also,
maybe.
you're just because Gearx would know, your XO is a science officer.
That's
That's
true.
what he does.
Gearx to Lieutenant Jolson.
Jolson here.
Would you be so kind as to meet me in holodeck 1, please? We're working on Mr. Allen.
Holodeck 1?
I'm being a little unorthodox here.
I think we stopped being orthodox about 3 weeks ago. On my way.
3 weeks ago, we were still on the South, though.
He's not
Exactly.
wrong.
While you've been talking, Alan is just slowly following around and analyzing a random person walking down the street playing the trumpet, like one of those bands that just like a spontaneous band.
And Gearx is paying attention to your behavior and analyzing that.
Jolson, you step into the holodeck with various diagnostic programs in the air and the life and sound of New Orleans.
Wow. Is this the French Quarter?
Yeah, I wanted to see how Mr. Allen reacted in an environment he found less hostile. Or at least his consciousness, or what's there.
So that this is his programming manifest as a hologram?
Correct. He is going to assist us in. He's going to assist us in removing the malicious software from his program. I thought you might have the necessary expertise to help us along.
Fascinating, but let's get going.
All right. So I guess.
Is there anyone else being pulled into the team?
No, I think this is enough for now because we won't be able to roll more than 5 dice anyway.
Yep. You can have multiple people assisting in this as long as they have 2 ranks in science, assuming you get to the answer you need. in time. Now, here's the issue. The amount of research you're doing here, and this is the trade-off for having people working on this, this is some cutting-edge programming you're doing, and you're fighting against some of the best cybernetics minds in Starfleet. So you're going to be spending many hours on this. So for other tasks the ship needs, you guys are basically tied up doing.
Yeah, I think we should leave it to the three of us for now, just so we don't eat up all the ship resources. Unless do we have any support characters? I mean, we have Varista does sciencey stuff, but
do we have any medical?
We do have a science supporting character.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Oh, this isn't really a medical thing, but I know Dr. Crusher kind of worked on data a few times. If we can, and get a medical person and with cross-training cybernetics.
Well, she has. I think the doctor has cross-training in psychology or something like that, which might be relevant here.
If the doctor is free, this is definitely a psychology type thing.
And just a character, Jal is fine with all of this, but she really wants Selena working on the deflectors.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was gonna
FYI.
specifically for that reason.
And actually, the funny thing is, science is Wash is with the science team now, so
Selena would say no anyways.
Okay, yeah. Why don't we just
That's
bring
fair.
our science support in and let the rest of the senior staff actually worry about other things in the ship? I don't want to take too much out of.
I do have one request. Since you're not going to tie up engineering teams, can I have engineering team?
If there's a situation where you need them, then yeah, you can have some engineering personnel to help you with the deflector.
Very good. So keeping in mind that you have a limited crew support for the Victoria of about, I have to look at I think it's 4. It's 4. Yep. So
It's fine.
are you?
The captain will help Selena with the deflector.
Are you pulling any supporting characters into the project?
Yeah, let's just pull Varista.
Okay, so Varista. If anyone, who wants to manage Varista for the project, by the way?
you know me, I'll always if nobody else will.
If no one else will.
If nobody else will, exactly.
The doctor wants to take them, they can.
Absolutely.
I've done a lot this episode.
And there's more to come yet.
I'm in danger.
So, is that all the team you're bringing into the?
Yeah, let's see, that's 4 people, so I think that should, that's enough resources to tie up, I think.
Very good. So at this point we're gonna hit pop. Now what I'm going to be asking you to do is you're going to look to your focus among anyone in the team, and if you think it applies, give an argument why it would apply in solving your problem, and you have to give me at least 3. You can give me as many as you want, but honestly, minimum 3. Now, when you give me these explanations, I'm going to note what the research lead is proposing. So whoever you want to be whoever has the most science probably should be the one pulling the trigger, but you guys can decide who your research lead is on this. But at the end of the day, the research lead is the one who decides what questions you're going to research. Once you've decided on your questions, you fire off the group, say 3 focuses, 5 focuses, 10 focuses, and I'll tell you, yes or no, the right answer is in those numbers. The next step will be doing tests to find out to narrow it down. If all your guesses are right, then I get 1 threat, and you know all the focuses you guessed are absolutely.
What's the problem we're trying to guess a solution for?
How to reprogram Alan.
without breaking him.
Without Section 31 programming just resetting and putting itself back in place again.
Exactly.
Alright, well, I have a 5 in science, so I think I'm probably going to be project lead.
Okay, do you have any relevant focuses?
Closest one I can think of. Closest focus I can think of is quantum and mechanics, how computers and positronic networks might possibly work from a physical perspective.
Okay.
Varista will add in is Varista her? Bajoran?
Yeah.
Okay, she will add in her focus on encryption techniques, because most likely that's a part of this.
I have both cybernetics and computers.
Okay, so that's 4. I don't think I have any that apply here, so I guess those are the ones we should be questioning.
The only one that Versta could also add in is communication systems. If for some reason Alan is being sent a signal that tells the programming to suddenly go or not go, that could be a possible add.
I can add in linguistics, mix coding in general, and how languages and computer coding might work. Kind of a stretch, but
I mean, you'd be surprised. Linguistics is a fundamental part of computer science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone took computer science courses.
Someone has a bachelor's degree in computer science.
I have an associate's degree in web design, so yes.
Good God. Nerds, jeez.
Nerds, yeah.
I have a computer.
Mine's history, so I have a bachelor's in history.
I so far have project lead. Am I correct?
You cut out.
It's in the research lead.
Correct.
Oh, hey, someone wrote it down. Thank you. I have the same numbers as you do, Garrick. So, Lieutenant Jolson, are you going to narrow that down at all, or are you going to ask me yes, no for all of it?
How many different rounds do I get to ask?
Each time if you narrow it down to like 3 or so, and you say, is it one of these 3? If you're wrong, I get. If you're right, we go to. And the next step is trying to do tests to narrow down each one. Now, when you're at the test, that's when we're gonna actually start eating at the time, and it's gonna take each interval is gonna be like several hours.
You can still have over a day before we're gonna rendezvous with the Alnomed ship. So.
But as far as what you asked, you can keep suggesting these ad nauseum. This is not the time state.
Yeah, you're not at the time stage. You're still you're all spitballing ideas and trying to figure out what is the problem here, and we're all trying to figure out. You're all trying to get what the solution to the problem is, or possible solution.
So let's test.
I mean, I think we start with cybernetics, computers, and encryption techniques.
Yeah, I think those 3 seem the most obvious ways to go.
Yeah, I'm writing up a list now.
I would throw communications in there.
Yeah, they are. Encryption, communications, linguistics.
Well, we have to suggest between 3 and 5. And
gotcha.
Based on those 3 or 5, it could divide how much work we put into each one. So there's an advantage to only suggesting 3 just as much as there's an advantage to suggesting 5.
I mean, theoretically, you can just add, like 20, and it's like, cool, which one?
Right.
Oh, I thought the book had a upper limit of 5.
I'm a nice GM. I let you go beyond 5.
Well, it still also
You
feels
could-
impractical to
Versus-
eliminate once just because.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have for my short list linguistics, encryption, and techniques, communication, and cybernetics. Final answer?
Go for it, research lead.
All right, pulling trigger.
Linguistics, encryption, communications, cybernetics. One of these is correct.
Cool. So now we go into testing.
Excellent.
I think we work in order of cybernetics, then encryption, then communications, then linguistics.
I agree.
I agree too.
Now, time-wise, we had, I'm going to reiterate here, I believe it was 38 hours.
Yep.
Each interval, and you usually spend 2 each time you do a test, unless you spend momentum to speed it up. Each interval is going to be 6 hours. Therefore, each regular attempt is a 12-hour testing and retesting, checking, rechecking. Because you're also making sure that you're not accidentally turning things on you don't want to turn on.
Yeah.
And once you do one of your tests, I'm going to switch over to someone else and see what they're doing during the 6 to 12 hours.
Cool.
So be cautious.
All right, I think we do a test on encryption in first, because this is programming. I mean, that is deep down in his core.
Okie doke.
Agreed.
If I can spell.
Difficulty 2, science plus reason.
Since whoever has the focus in linguistics should be the main role, I guess.
I have the main role. Can I use my linguistics focus?
You need to
Well, Varista's the one who has the encryption focus.
Encryption.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Okay.
encryption.
yeah.
So Jimmy can have Varista as lead on that then, I think.
Okay, and so can it be insight and science, or does it have to be reason and science?
I highly suggest it's reason. We've almost guaranteed to get it if it's reason.
Now the way I'm ruling it is that everyone, the lead is the one who does the role. So Jolson is still the research lead. Is mainly from a science perspective, is making sure people aren't skipping steps or
Okay.
performing experiments they shouldn't do. Everyone else assists if they have at least 2 science. In Versta's case, they benefit from their own focus because they have that extra bit of knowledge that might be of help.
Understood.
Okay, focus would help.
Yeah, so the only person
That means-
the only person rolling with a focus is Wash.
Well, we've got it unless we've got it. That's 4 successes because of my positronic brain.
So you're at 3 momentum currently by my count.
Yep.
And Jolson.
Yes, sir.
roll me. You have science 5, correct?
I have science 5.
Give me 5 challenge dice.
It
That
should
plus
be
7.
7. Yeah,
there you
it
go.
should be 7.
You get 2 more.
spend a momentum and re-roll 4 dice.
Okay, so 4 more challenge dice.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 you missed.
And white. Okay, so we're...
2
Okay.
you missed, and the 2 you didn't roll.
No, he's re-rolling 2 of them.
That's what I'm saying. He's re-rolling 2, and 2 he didn't roll.
Yep.
Right. So by my count, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I count that you should have 2 momentum. Are you spending 2 momentum to only use up 6 hours instead of 12?
Yep.
Sure.
I would like to do that, yes. Time is of the essence.
And we cut then to, and I'll tell you if you're right or not when I get back to you.
God damn it.
I know. Like, damn.
The suspense.
Dr. McNeil.
Yes.
You are several hours out from the meeting. You have been briefed, if not by your own medical staff, and then by the yeoman of the command staff to keep you as a senior officer in the loop. So you're aware of what the other officers are doing, what the bridge is up to, and you have some minutes on the meeting that occurred. You currently have a sick bay full of injured people who need bed rests. No one's dying. You have a in the brig, and as a update, the admiral seems to be fine. He's eating. Last security report says that he did some jogging while he was as much as he could anyway, because it's a quarter. What would you like to?
Start mental diagnostic of the survivors to get a state of their mental well-being.
Give me an insight medicine test, difficulty 2.
Psychiatry and empath. Sorry.
Psychology for focus.
I will give you that.
Take 3 threat.
I will.
Rerolling one of the zeros. Oh god. Take threat for that complication.
I'm gonna spend 2.
Someone's having a panic attack right now?
Dr. McNeil, here, how much information I give you will depend on how much time you want to spend on this. Do you wish to spend 6 hours or 12 hours of study?
6.
Okay. In your 6 hour study, and I'm taking into account that you're empathic, so consciousness isn't really required to evaluate them. And you're evaluating the senior staff of the SAFO. Is that correct?
Correct.
It would seem to you that the senior staff has undergone prolonged psychological and physical torture. That Their mental states are, they're still lucid, but they are all severely damaged mentally. Physically, they can recover with a full med bay and your talent. You could put Humpty Dumpty back together again, but mentally, there's damage among all of them. The captain, especially.
There are 4 lights.
Okay. Upon that, I would assign them each their own crew quarters and essentially have all their command codes revoked if they're even on the Victoria.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you.
Starfleet regulation.
Selena.
Yes.
What are you currently working on?
I would be working upon the deflector dish to do the, as the captain said, ghost them.
I believe I said flashbang, but close enough.
Very good. There's an extended task here ahead of you on what you want to do. Is it you? So it's you plus engineering team. Is that it?
And the captain.
And the captain. All right.
Yep.
She
kind of walks in and is like, this isn't. This will be fun, and she just rolls up her sleeves.
Captain?
Stand by, please.
Yep. It's been a good minute since I got to tinker with a deflector. This will be fun. And she handles an engineering kit. Actually, she brings her own. You'll notice it's an old, dusty. What year was the Asher? 2284, something like that. It's actually older than that.
Eyebrow.
It's. Don't let the case fool you. The case is. It was my great grandfather's case before he left on his mission. Trust me, the tools in it are up to Starfleet standards.
Of course.
Alright. Let's see if we can blind these people.
I would start by assessing what particles we could throw through the deflector dish.
Oh, I'm back. Ow.
That's fine. We were just having a moment.
I mean,
where she was sneering at my bag. Because...
All right, fade to black. Then you guys can have your moment. So no.
That's fine.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Deflector dish is bigger. Oh, okay.
For 6 hours. No. Yes, no. So the task you wish to do is going to be a bit of daring engineering here. This is an extended task. And
Not control engineering.
I can't see a, and this is just me. I can't see a reason for it, seeing as we're literally doing something the deflector is not meant to do. This is about as daring and off the wall as we could get.
Is anything they do with the deflector what it was designed to do besides, protect the ship?
I mean,
I think
that's fair.
9 times out of 10, we're using the deflector for things it was not designed to do.
I know, it's navigation.
It takes small meteorites and make sure they don't punch holes in the ship. But no, we're going to turn it into a goddamn particle fountain.
If you wish to use control, hold on. I'll answer. I was considering what I wanted to do. You can use control. However, you will not have the option to speed up because control requires very fine movements and very careful movements. Daring gets it done quickly.
I would take that option to not speed it up because Selena's all about doing things by the book.
It makes no difference to the captain.
There is no book. You are going off script.
Yeah. But no, the number's the same regardless for the captain, so.
To you guys, which one of you two is going to take lead on this?
What are you rolling, Selena?
Roll and control engineering. I have a good 14.
Selena will if we don't want to speed it up.
The only downside is I don't have deflector systems as a folk.
I don't either.
All right, give me that roll, please.
Do you have momentum?
We have one. Go ahead, I'm not going to be of any help right now.
Tell you what, take 3 threat.
Sure.
Stupid dice.
Electroplasma come into play?
It
or sensors ops?
Actually, I take that back. You can use that if you want, if you increase the complication by 1.
Oh, this is getting worse and worse. Okay.
Thank you for the... You got a... I gained a threat, but you got a momentum.
We did. So, I am rolling... by my count, what was I supposed to make 2?
It's 6 challenge dice.
6 challenge dice.
Yep. Did you hit 6 and enter?
Yeah, you gotta hit enter after the number.
Yeah.
I think he rolled all zeros.
On 6 dice?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's right.
Well, then spend a momentum and you just re-rolled them. That's fine.
Yes.
There you go. Conundrum fixed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will advise you can spend 1 more momentum and be done with it.
Yep.
That's 2 spent. We have 1 left.
Yep.
Right. Fair enough.
So,
Captain.
In the span of 12 hours, you will have created the advantage. If I can spell advantage. Heat ray.
We were trying for flashbang, but okay.
Yeah, I think we already had the advantage heat ray.
Yeah.
But,
I think we were going for like flashbang to blind them with the heat.
Well, maybe your heat ray can do that.
That'll work.
Hot flashes.
Flash.
Hot flash, yes.
The Victoria is menopausal. It's okay.
Before we exit,
y'all,
there is something I'd like to say to the captain. Besides, it was a pleasure to work on this with you. Mr. Garrix is currently repairing Alan against better advisement. I think we should at least remove his access to security.
I agree. And she goes over to a panel on the wall and deactivates all of Alan's security codes.
I'm going to spend 2 threat. Thank you very much for the excuse.
I was about to say, I gave her permissions.
That's fine. I I would actually. I want to make a roll to go against it if it's gonna lock me out, because she could do that.
Oh, don't worry. You're fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
So, we're gonna get back to Team Hologram. So last we left off, you guys were working on encryption, wasn't it?
Correct.
In 6 hours of time, you discovered that encryption is not the answer. That doesn't seem. It seems that Alan has quite a bit of his positronic mind races fast enough that if Alan's sapient mindset wanted to just brute force back, for all the programming the great minds can do, Alan can outthink it. He can think faster than they can. So they didn't encrypt it in any particular way. That makes it, and that's not the reason why you can't beat it. You know, it's something else.
Next is cybernetics, then, I think.
Well, it would be either linguistics, communications, or cybernetics would be the three remaining that we tested.
I understand that. I
would-
was saying I think
would
it's
go
cybernetics.
communications if-
Okay.
But I don't know.
It
It's
was
just
a-
a conversation.
If it was
I-
communications,
Because
we
we
would
don't have.
to be-
Yeah, we don't have the choice as the person, the lead, that gets to choose that. We're just talking.
Well, you would have to think that it's unlikely that we would be in communication distance with anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
I would
And
lean towards
that's why-
cybernetics, if anything, but that's just my
I
opinion.
would go with cybernetics next.
Me too, because communications we're too far away to be in communication from. Yeah.
But what exactly constitutes cybernetics? Is that actual brain programming stuff, or is it that at just the mechanical running of the body?
It's a combination of the two. It's not only is it the polymers in the physical things that make up what Alan is. It also is the neurons, how they connect, that sort of thing as well. Not necessarily the programming per se, but
It's
theoretically
more physical.
could cause.
Selena
the
does make a
physical
good
network.
point. Selena does make a good point.
The only problem is
If
we
something is in the ship that we haven't found yet that is actually triggering him,
True.
Has been
that is something we have
established
not. No, we haven't gone exactly for that. We've checked the ship, but we didn't check for the ship for something that specific. No, that's different.
Okay, well, do you want to just roll a die and odds or evens to choose which one to go to, or do we have a compelling argument one way or the other? Because I think it could technically be either.
It could be either, and that's what's scary. It's compelling. Yeah, well, and then on the other side, linguistics is the root of all programming. So so yeah, it's like what?
What do you wish to do, Lieutenant Jolson?
Linguistics is the root of all programming, but going through that many layers of code would take a while to parse through. If it is communications, and that'll be something in specific we're looking for, some sort of transceiver in his system. Cybernetics, it could be a hidden computer core, or that could also lead to communications in like physically finding a transceiver in his left knee. Let's do cybernetics.
All right, I'm going to ask you for that roll I asked you for earlier, and I did not write it. I believe it was science reason. There we go.
Yeah, difficulty 2.
Science reason, difficulty 2.
And what were we going with again as our focus?
Cybernetics.
Okay.
Not me. So I'll turn the focus off for Varista.
We have 3 successes. 4, 5, 6.
Go Team Holodeck.
Okay, so that puts up to 5 momentum, I believe.
Oh yeah,
And yes, we'll spin
No,
the
it's only-
key to
it's
make
only-
it short.
It's only 4 because it was a difficulty.
But we already had one, I thought.
No, I get 1 by default. We rolled 5 for a total of 6, and it was a difficulty 2, so there's only 4 extra.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But we had one proceeding. I thought, unless I saw
We
that.
have one proceeding, so we're at a total of 5 right now.
But 4 because we're spending the
Oh,
we're spending
okay.
the one.
You meant total momentum. I was talking momentum gained from this roll.
Oh, my bad. But we're gonna spend one anyway to cut the time in half. So
2. It costs 2 to do
It
that.
costs 2, but
okay, so we're going down to 3.
Yeah, still cut it.
At that moment, as you guys, actually, give me your work. That's
How
going
many
to be.
challenge dice?
It's
Two
science,
science, I believe.
2.
What was that?
7.
7 challenge dice. Why am I only rolling 4?
Because sometimes they come up blank, so you need to re-roll 3. You need to spend a momentum to re-roll 3.
Spending momentum.
was that 9?
I'm looking at 9.
Yeah.
At that moment, another 6 hours pass, and before I leave you, Alan's hologram vanishes.
Uh-oh.
Damn it for whatever that was.
Was that a threat spend, or are we just?
I didn't see threat go down.
No, I think, well, out of character, I think when the captain went in and did something with the codes, it reset something in him. That was possibly that out of character threat that he made when
Let's hope he doesn't. Let's hope he doesn't suddenly reappear in a Section 31 uniform.
Right?
Dr. McNeil.
Should I be worried?
You always
Of
should be
course.
worried. So you're able to contain your patients. They're all under a certain amount of watch to ensure they're okay. For the most part, I will say that they are all convalescing. What are you doing for the next 6 hours of your day, or 12, depending?
I'm going to check on the prisoner.
Which one? You have 2.
The one that's in the brig.
Oh, fine.
That I just healed.
Check on.
I'm not referring to the Admiral. He's fine.
So you're checking over the prisoner. You're doing a psych eval, or are you doing another medical scan of him?
Both.
I'm going to call this
initial-
Go ahead.
I was saying the initial feeling that he had like a tear before I knocked him out kind of concerns her.
Give me a insight medicine difficulty 3.
Take 1 threat.
Thank you.
I'm spending 2 momentum. And is this to read him, or I'm wondering if I need to use xenobiology or psychology as a focus?
Psychology would apply more here.
What?
Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the butt, but I'm re-rolling that 0. So that's 7 successes.
Oh.
So 4 momentum.
That's 4 momentum you're setting on. Wait, no. 3. 1, 2, yeah, 4. I was right the first time.
7.
Yeah. Right. So, it would seem to you. Now, do you want to spend 6 hours on this or 12?
Six.
Okay. From what you can gather, the patients you've actually been able to determine. Actually, I can give you one of two things. You can either theorize on what the base psychological profile for Al Nomad is, because you've never met one before. You've never psychologically evaluated one before. Or you can theorize on what he might want to do when he wakes up. And you're using some of your knowledge of how psychology works and how most aliens react when abject terror is in effect. Or you can spend 2 momentum and you can get the answer to both.
I'll spend 2 momentum.
Okay. So, El Nomad, on a base level, have a sort of a deep-seated malice toward anything that isn't El Nomad, and even to each other, they have a malice, a almost sadistic feeling toward harming living things. However, it seems that the mind isn't so erratic that it can't. Like, because the species is here, they must have some sort of function, either societal, cultural, possibly biological, that keeps them from just wiping themselves out. There's a reason why they haven't just murdered each other into oblivion. Whatever that is, that requires more research, but that feeling of just outright, I want to hurt somebody, is their baseline. For everyone else, that'd be a very dangerous homicidal tendency. For these people, it's normal. It's like Vulcans not having emotions. They're supposed to be that way. So that's not comforting. However, the abject terror is especially... that seems to be coming from something in his memory, and your empath abilities are helping you in that he has either experienced or seen something that made him feel like he was his very existence was in danger. Not just death, not just that's terrifying. This is existence. Something was either going to wipe him out or his whole species out or a lot of something out. Given his baseline, that would suppose that his species was at risk. And he had that just deep down instinctual, oh God, we're all going to die, and he knows what it is. So he wasn't scared of you, he wasn't scared of the ship, he was scared of the big, scary something that's going to wipe out his species.
Babushka?
Heyo.
Can I wake him?
Don't get help by trying to kill people.
If you spend more momentum, you can wake him up.
Sure.
I'll get back to you with him being awake. Selena and Captain, what are you two doing? Your project is done. The heat flash, it will work. The people at Dry Dock are going to hate you when they have to replace the deflector dish, but other than that, it should work.
I got nothing more than to study. Well, I want to get some sleep in that time, but I also have nothing better to do than study for my diplomacy test.
I actually have another thing for her to do. Sorry.
Okay.
Selena,
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to map out nearby systems that we can duck into.
I'm already doing that.
I thought he just had you astrocharting just in general. I'm actually asking
Well,
her to look
that's
for
a
a place
part
to
of it.
hide.
Oh, Wash, just to remind you, you're spending you've been spending at least 12 hours sitting in a holodeck, just working like crazy trying to solve the Allen problem.
Well,
That's a support character. That's Varista.
Oh, right. You're right. Wash is doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot
am
about
in
that.
navigation doing that exact same thing. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm doing it.
Oh.
Okay. Well then, shit.
Yeah, that is my 12 hours. Is not only finding hiding spots, but literally updating the charts with all of that information. So yeah, I'm busy.
At the end
Okay.
of it,
Well
Wash,
then, Then my order
just-
would be to. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go for it. I'll type it out. It's
Oh, okay. Then my direction would be to tell her to make sure the cold running system will go off without a hitch. And plan to drop communications and I want to say computers, but we're gonna do it closer to when we have to stop to give the crew rest of enough time to do what they need to do. So communications and computers are the things she's asking you to sacrifice for cold running.
Understood. With a sigh, I'll get working on.
And she will go
So-
to the bridge and make sure everything is ready to go off.
So Selena, I'm just making sure I have this clear. You've been ordered to not turn on cold running, but you're getting it ready to fire.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask
Basically.
you. I'm gonna give you a control command test, difficulty 2. You're basically getting all the departments to be on a signal to go and be ready to do. Basically, you're creating an
And be out of
Diplomacy?
the engineering when it heats up.
You're asking if diplomacy.
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Taking that last momentum.
Too many challenges dice there, friend.
Yep, I forgot to reset that.
Ooh, thank you. You get more momentum though.
Difficulty 2, we get more than one momentum.
Well, you got at least one from the from that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I
counting
have you at
3.
Selena, you have arranged for the various teams aboard. You've set up for that was computers and what?
Communications, I believe.
Communications, yeah. I still want shields. I want to be able to run if I have to and shoot if possible. But sorry to the scientists, we don't need to research anything at the moment.
Commander, what are you doing? Lieutenant Commander, what are you doing while Selena is burning the midnight oil?
What am I doing? Yeah. I was going up to the bridge, going to the tactical station, and making sure that we can fire everything off from the bridge.
I'll give this to you for free. A quick check around lets you know that all weapon systems are operational, torpedoes are functional.
Okay, then at some point she will go find the doctor.
Nope, no sleep for you.
And
Dr.
once it's all set up, I will let her have a few hours rec time.
Dr. McNeil is currently.
Alright, well, she will go to the brig then.
And you will be joining McNeil when she goes to wake the prisoner.
Perfect.
Wash, I'm going to deal with a
Yes.
couple rolls for you because I fell behind. That's on me. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, I was running Varista, so I understood in the sense of the first pass through, but the second pass through, yeah, my turn. My turn.
I'm going to give you a reason plus con roll. Difficulty 3. That is you basically finding the extra places to hide.
Okay, so the first one is the finding that place to hide one. Okay, that's the one I want to spend determination on. So I'm definitely spinning that. Get rid of it. Okay, and I'm using my value insatiable curiosity.
I'll give that to
Cool. And then let's see. Okay, so that gives me 2 wins. That means I need to spend how many threat now to get the 4th die? Not the 3rd die, but the 4th die? Or I never remember this. 5? Okay, so 5 threat. 4 die, got my determination. My focus, of course, is astronavigation and navigation.
I'll give that to you. Yep.
Cool. And as far as I know, it's still a complication range of 1.
You're right.
No change there.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So here we go. And then I will, because I spent a threat, I will roll that one for my bold. Oh, okay. But I got 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have you at max momentum 6. And you are able to find some hiding spots. Well, not just one. You find a variety. So that way, if they for some reason outmaneuvered you to a spot, you can very quickly dart and go to a different spot. So you have a hiding spot no matter what they do.
Excellent. So I will definitely list those and give it. Well, and not only have a place, but also gives the captain and the first officer options.
Right.
Also, yeah. So I'll make sure to write up that report. And then, is there a role for the other keeping the crew in the science crew that are with me, and the whole just doing the regular navigation stuff with astrometrics, or is that something else?
You don't have to roll for that.
Okay.
You've done between you and the science officer. You guys have gotten them calmed down quite a bit.
Cool. Then I'm happy. I'll definitely write up that report. Now, I mean, I do understand, again, that we're spending the 12 hours in there. It's a busy day. I think my only little breaks are, like I said, to check on the kids and the teachers to make sure there's no problems. But during that time, also while they're working, I will finish up the report of the different locations that we could hide in and send it up to the bridge.
Okay. Are you gonna for the second period? So the first 6 hours, you're able to do that. The second 6 hours, do you want to spend time just rest and relax? Or do you want to do
absolutely. I will spend the 2 momentum so that I can have some time, and that gives me, like you said, time to rest as well as time with the kids.
You don't have to spend any momentum. I'm just saying you're only spending like effectively one interval doing your check to make sure you have it. The second interval is just sitting there going, what do you want to do? You can rest or you can do something else.
Got you. In my head, I was thinking like everybody else, where I needed to make sure it was halved. So I got no problem. I gotcha. So yeah, after that first interval, like I said, I just now that I know that I don't actually need a break to do it, I will actually spend out of that 6 hours, probably 4 of it to sleep, but at least 2 of it with the kids, just to make sure that there's time spent, playing games, playing, just different stuff to make sure everybody's engaged.
Give me presence command. Difficulty 1.
Alrighty, presence. Oh, this is my sucky one. So yeah, this is bad, but we'll see. But I have a whole bunch of momentum that I just gained, so let's spin 3 so I can have 4 dice. And thank goodness I did.
Technically, that was part of your normal 2 roll, but yeah.
You just shut up over there. It could have been any die. If it was on the table, how do you know?
After spending 2 threat, You learn after playing with the kids that Nurse Fleur, she tries her best to try not to bring it up or complain. Like she tries not to talk too much around you. Not out of any particular. It's not like she dislikes you. She doesn't know you that well, and your departments don't interact all that often. But you definitely get the sense that Fleur is angry. Not at the kids, she's angry about stuff in general. And she's very specifically not saying stuff to you. She talks in generalities, but never anything substantive.
Yeah, and I'm definitely. It's one of those where I know it happened, so I'm definitely not going to bring it up myself. But I can totally understand why she would be pissed. I mean, circumstances be as they are. That can't change. But I completely understand how she's just ready to like go inside the holodeck and break some shit. In fact, I might even. Oh, that might be an idea. There would be the moment where maybe I'll say, Dr. Fleur or Nurse Fleur, I know it's been a challenge. Sometimes what I do is I go into the holodeck and whether it be punching bags, this, that, use your imagination, a whole bunch of pillow fights to get out that energy.
Wash. I don't mean any disrespect here, especially since I hear you're about to outrank me. But at the moment, I don't want you around my kids anymore.
Understand. So I will walk out. That's that moment where I'm not even going to let her finish because now she's on a whole different edge. That's like, what have I ever done to affect that myself? So I just turn and go. She doesn't want me there. I'm out.
Yep. One time bomb set. Moving on to the project.
Yep.
The project guys, you guys look through cybernetics. You tried various configurations. You checked if Alan's processors may have done something. Maybe they programmed via neurons certain things to go off. And yeah, it seems like that doesn't seem to be it. It's one of those things where Alan's diagnostics would have caught up to it. He would have noticed an abnormality. Or you would have in your scans. And at that moment, the holodeck says, user security permits nullified for subject Alan, deactivating program. And then Alan just vanishes.
What the hell?
Computer, confirm.
Confirm hologram and privileges for our user Alan.
Access denied by Lieutenant Commander Jal.
Can I suggest something real quick? When I sent this to you, when I changed the command codes, I gave Jolson the same access as me and the captain, so he has the highest level of access. Unless someone has changed that.
Nope. I just wanted to revoke your security codes.
I can go back and look to where I sent you that.
You know what? I'll spend 4 threat and you're right.
Jesus Christ.
There's a specific reason I made sure to give Jolson command level access.
So it's not one person.
I'm not around to tell you that anymore, but there's a reason.
We're gonna die. That's it. We're dead. We said dead.
The one time I do something responsible.
Right.
Son of...
Lieutenant Jolson, do you wish to reverse the order?
I'm not about to reverse it without talking to her first. Jolson Jal.
This is Jaw.
Hey, I'm here in the holodeck working on Alan, and his program is suddenly missing from our holodeck. Was that something you did?
That's odd. All I did was revoke his security codes.
shouldn't need security. Should not have needed security codes to access the holodeck.
Have I actually reappeared?
You do, yep.
I agree.
Is there something I should know, or am I just there?
For a second, your consciousness turned off, and then it turned back on again.
The only thing I did was disable his command codes.
I tried
so
it.
that
Then
he couldn't use them against you.
while they're talking, I'm gonna try to interface with the computer and figure out why I am losing control.
Oh no! Revoking his
Not
command
control
codes
of the
was a
computer.
trigger.
Not losing control of the computer, losing like actual physical control of myself.
Apparently your computer access was limited to the point where you had no security clearance, including guest controls. So your consciousness was denied access to the holodeck, and then somewhere along the way, it was reaffirmed.
What was reaffirmed?
Your access codes to the holodeck.
They were restored, or the command to take them away was confirmed? I'm confused by the language.
The revoke was reversed, basically.
Can I see who reversed it?
Lieutenant
Lieutenant who?
Jolson.
It was Jolson.
Okay.
Okay, because he hadn't actually said
Okay.
it yet.
But yeah, she just goes, all I did was revoke his security access so that he couldn't
Okay.
mess with the
I'm
computers.
gonna put him back on guest access. Yes, I know it's a risk, but
If you put
it'll
me
be-
back on guest access, I'm gonna be completely locked out again. I won't be able to help you.
No, guests have access to the holodeck.
Yeah. Guests have access to the holodeck.
I mean, it's technically a holographic projection of a computer console you're working on, so technically it should work, maybe?
Okay. A computer set.
Give him instant level access
You sure?
to the holodeck.
Okay. Computer set security protocols for our Allen to ensign level. I'll restrict it to holodeck programming only.
Wait, so can we confirm whether Jolson actually restored it, or someone using Jolson's codes restored it?
Yeah, did I actually give
No,
the
you
commanding
gave
character?
the vocal order. Yeah, you gave the vocal order.
Okay, I gave the vocal order.
Okay. Because I was wondering if there's like a security breach there or not.
Yeah, because I didn't hear the vocal part
I-
either.
I did. I kind of talked over it, and that was my bad.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
because
didn't
yeah,
hear
we were all about to freak out right there, thinking that whole security thing reset his programming.
Yeah, no.
GM, can we confirm, did my character vocally eat?
Do you ask the computer?
I will confirm with the
No,
computer
I
because
think
I
we're
didn't
asking
remember
you
hearing him.
directly.
Yeah. I'm asking you if Alan heard him say it.
Alan did not
Hello,
hear.
computer.
Okay, that's what we needed to know. This is a problem.
Computer recognizes that Lieutenant Jolson requested the presence of Alan. Alan's access was granted on that basis.
You're
using
cutting
heuristic,
out.
knowledge of order.
We're in trouble.
No, we're not. He just said that Jolson said he required Alan in the holodeck so that it gave him the permissions for the holodeck.
Oh, everyone's
I
cutting
know.
out.
Jolson said that.
I don't think you're reading that right, personally, but that's just me.
I
was
want to.
paranoid.
Can I verify that command came from the holodeck and not somewhere else on the ship?
It came from main computer.
Jolson is not the main computer.
See, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Jolson,
this is
someone-
weird.
I hate life. I hate life.
Lieutenant,
Yeah, that's what we were telling you, Jal, that was not Jolston.
See,
Lieutenant-
the one day I'm not being paranoid. Great, thanks.
Lieutenant Jolson, someone seems to have access to your command codes other than yourself.
Well, that is just fucking lovely, isn't it?
With
Oh,
your
dear.
permission, I'll try to restore them.
You're kind of in a compromised position anyways.
Let's.
I have
we-
the greatest ability to interact with the computer.
With your current restricted access, that might not be true.
I can try to get around it.
Let's not go around any security protocols for the time being. I prefer you do this somewhat by the book.
This is false security protocol. Someone is attempting to subvert Jolson.
Is Joel still on the comm?
Yes.
Yeah. Commander, looks like my security has been compromised. I suggest we lock out at the main computer.
You want me
Or
to
at least-
revoke your codes? Fair enough.
I can
For
fix
now.
this.
For now.
Do you know where it was coming from?
It's the main computer. We don't know a location.
Oh, it's just the computer in general.
Yeah, if you can track
That is
that.
something to be concerned about, Captain. That is not something to be dismissed.
I am well aware.
Computer, locate Admiral Trailblazer.
Admiral Trailblazer is in guest quarters 12.
Has there been any computer access in the last 12 hours from that location?
Affirmative.
Can you show? Can you indicate what computer functions were accessed?
Food replication, music, study history files, JAG officer files, personnel records of USS Sappho, personnel records, USS Victoria.
He's not supposed to have that much access.
He's not supposed to have any access.
He's supposed to have like the basic guest level access at most, which is like turn on music, turn on replicator.
Yep.
Computer, did the Admiral ever interact with any files that include Lieutenant Pavalier Joel?
Negative.
It's unlikely he's the threat.
Seeing the most obvious indicator, but I could be wrong.
Computer, has anyone activated any files that include Lieutenant Pavalier Jolson's
Affirmative.
list crew members?
Lieutenant Pavir Jolson, Lieutenant Gearix, Civilian ALAN.
So another one of you running around, Mr. Allen?
I've never encountered another functional Allen. Functional being the key word.
Okay, this might actually narrow down how we're going to fix this. There
In
might
the meantime, I'm Joel. We do have a security breach, each involving my codes.
I'd recommend we have a security team sweep for any kind of transponder or anything that can be interfacing with the main computer remotely.
There's our communications.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yep.
Alright, she will have security teams sweep the ship deck by deck for bugs, transmission, vectors, coding devices.
Oh. Okay, if that's going to be the case, can I use the engineering team advantage to have them analyze the computers and communications to try to pinpoint anything that might be accessing it autonomously?
We can also, and this is actually Alan speaking. We can solve the issues to resolve your inability to trust me, and then once you can trust me again, I can solve this problem with the computer.
Very well.
Agreed.
Computer. Can you tell me the computer access of the senior staff of the SAFO?
Affirmative.
Can you list it out, please?
Access denied.
Okay.
We have to continue now, Captain. We can't suffer any more interruptions.
Yeah, I think I'm about to have a talk with somebody. But first I need to get the doctor's opinion. Okay.
Can I say that this is the best episode ever?
Lieutenant Joel said we must continue. Time is of the essence.
I'm inclined
Yes.
to agree.
Work quickly,
Yes, okay.
Lieutenant. You hear over your comm badge. And she picks up her pace to the brig.
Then I suggest we look at potential communications issues.
Let's look at communications.
Let me get what's her face open, Verista.
Very good. That is a reason plus science roll. Difficulty 2.
And
We got it. Let's spend 2 to get rid of that complication.
Actually, no. My parental figure will get rid of that complication automatically. It'll just turn it into a regular 0.
Thank you, Garrick.
So that means we got 3 successes.
3 successes. Are you spending 2 to increase to cut down your interval time to 6 hours?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have you a total of 18 hours. Give me your work roll, please.
How many challenge dice?
7. And reroll 3.
Spend a momentum, reroll 3.
Yes, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
If you spend one more momentum, you'll get an answer.
Let's do it. For work, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep, spend that momentum.
We all put our hands up. We're like,
It has been determined that each time that Alan has ever acted on something, he's been in range of either an unknown person or unknown ship. He's needed to be in subspace, not subspace, but within laser range, as in someone's painting a laser over the ship and then tagging it, and that's allowing for various signals to be flashed across a ship that would normally be benign. It wouldn't be a thing that anyone would think to look for. But Alan is designed in such a way in his communication systems to recognize that as a code. So he goes at it and he goes, oh, activating this file that's hidden away somewhere. Even Alan doesn't know what's doing it. He doesn't know that he's even accessing the file. Oh, actually, sorry, Alan does know, but doesn't know why. That's why he's never been consciously aware where the command's coming from. He's just getting commands from some remote communication. But it requires laser. They can't do it over subspace. That's why they can't command him from across the stars.
Then I would like to. Can I rewrite? Can I rewrite that to force any time an external signal requires me to take an action? It has to ask me for permission first.
That would be. You can do that. It'd be an extended test.
Or can we just or do we know enough to isolate the actual receiver and disable it?
If we disable it, Lieutenant Garrix, we lose a valuable source of information.
yeah.
Namely,
I
where
agree.
it comes
Let's
from.
and also, it might have a confirmation feedback saying, "Hey, we didn't send this signal, now tip off whoever you are." Yeah, let's go with Alan's force command, force conscientious command, and protocol first.
It sounds risky, but okay.
Yeah, but at least maybe somewhere in that program we could say, "Hey, Alan, when you get it, you got to let us know," or something. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's a part of y'all's. Uh-oh. Oh, he moved the ship. So, okay. I'm just freaking out.
Okay, what's the role, GM?
Depends what you're doing.
I mean, I'm gonna reroute. My idea was to write a program that only I have access to run, and just have that program continuously running, and that's gonna be the firewall.
I would like to help with that. Writing
Yeah, you
up
can
a
look at them.
writing up a basic, exterior commands have to be verified by the conscious.
Which even could lead to the fact that not only does he have to verify, but the idea of being able to see what the command is, what it's accessing, and what it's also asking him to do.
Yeah, all that information would be relevant because that would be required to get me to make a decision.
Exactly.
Can I use a focus in computers?
Yes, you can.
Can I use a? Well, I'm helping, and so I just roll one dice. Can I use a focus in linguistics?
And Farista has communications focus.
I will allow both. They both make sense.
Okay.
Excellent.
I don't have a value, and I don't have a talent that's relevant, so it does not make sense for me to lead unless someone has less than a 15.
I have 9 and 4, so just for right now, 13 from Farista.
I would have 14 in that.
I have 15.
Okay, so why don't you lead?
Okay. Do I have a focus?
There's Farista. There's Alan.
There's me.
Nice.
Okay. I'm burning a value. Sometimes you have to field test an idea before you know it works. We don't have time to field test this. We don't have time to theorize and test this. We're just doing it.
Yes.
I have to disagree.
Uh-oh.
Just because we have been doing as much testing as we have?
Yep.
Yeah, you did a lot of testing. Like,
Oh yeah, 18 hours.
We've been at this for 18 hours.
worth. Right.
Science is a universal language.
You're saying it isn't?
No, I'm saying science is a universal language.
That's the one you're challenging.
No, he's trying to spend determination, not get it back.
Yeah, he's not challenging.
Yeah, we really
Trying to
have
spend.
to get under control this burn a value phrase because it's really throwing everybody for a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying
So,
to
in
use a
Shadowrun,
value.
in Shadowrun language, burning something is to permanently lose it.
Yes.
So I keep thinking when they burn, I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
So if you say burn a determination, that's what he meant, not burn a value.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm using my determination.
Oh yeah, totally. Go for it. Sorry, that makes total sense.
Okay. Hey, so sometimes you have to. Okay, and the value I'm using is science is a universal language. We're trying to make a code language. Is that valid?
That is valid, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, your GM's mixing his games. That's his fault.
Sorry.
No.
You're forgiven.
Don't worry about it.
No, but on
Okay.
our side, we learned the language that we need to talk to you with, so that's a good thing.
Go, Josen.
Oh shit.
Science
Nice.
this.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
Yeah, 9.
That is so much momentum!
Way to science the shit out of things.
Do you wish to spend 2 of your floating momentum to reduce the interval down to 6 hours?
I think we do.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Use that
Can we
floating
spend even more momentum to make sure this shit is locked down with Alan forever? So we never have to worry about it.
Apparently not. I was going to ask though, before
Well,
everyone
we still have to roll work to figure out
Yeah.
how much we get through. At least this doesn't have resistance.
Give me a work test. It's going to be science once again from the lead.
So that's 7 for you.
That's a
7
7.
challenge.
7 challenge dice. Aye.
And
One,
you want to re-roll
2.
So we
One,
have 6 so
two.
far.
Okay, rerolling
spend
2
one.
dice for 1 momentum.
That was your last floating one. You're still at 6.
7, 8.
Ah,
So now that's 8. 1, 2,
So
3,
now
4,
you
5,
put 2
7.
into work, and that should be it. That'd be a breakthrough for getting 5 and a breakthrough for finish.
The murder bot is right in this case.
The murder bot is always right. Also, I've never murdered anybody.
Oh, well then spend another momentum and go to 11.
Not that you haven't tried.
It's only a magnitude 2. Why would we need to go to 11?
You have to go 1 over the work to get the breakthrough.
Oh, I thought a breakthrough.
Yeah,
I thought
but-
you got 1 breakthrough every time you got 5 or more.
Yeah, but it says magnitude 2, so that would only require 2 breakthroughs.
He said mag
Okay.
3.
Okay, well
Look at the
then,
chat.
then spend 1 more to go to 11.
Okay, so how many more do we roll?
You don't. We're spending
that's it.
momentum.
Yep, that's it.
We're spending momentum to fill it.
We spend momentum to buy an extra work.
Okay.
So when we got to 0, and we have 2 breakthroughs, 1 for getting 5 work done, and 1 for getting down to 0 work. And we need to get 1 more, and to get 1 more, we have to go to less than 0. So we add 1 work, and that gets us to -1 and gives us a 3rd breakthrough. If I'm understanding how this works correctly.
We did momentum spins.
Yeah, we've spent 3 momentum so far on work alone.
Yeah.
okay, I understand now. I lost the ball there.
It's very confusing.
Absolutely, because we had the 1 floater, and then we spent that plus 3 more. So yeah, we spent 4 in all of that.
Okay.
And
So no. Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna clarify. This was the first time you rolled on that work track. The minute you hit 5 work, okay, it's 1 breakthrough, unless you have a talent that allows you, when you roll an extra, like roll an effect, you get a 2nd breakthrough. In order to complete a work track, you have to go 1 beyond what the work track requires.
That's only if it's a 3 magnitude,
Okay.
isn't it?
No, that doesn't matter what the magnitude. If you complete the work track and go 1 beyond, it's done. You can technically do a work track without ever getting a single breakthrough and still get it finished.
Oh, well then we're done either way. Good.
oh wait, Jolson, you have testing a theory.
I do have testing theory.
You get another D20 if I remember that correct. I'm gonna double check. Am I full of crap?
I mean, given that we already he succeeded in a task with a scientific principle
Yeah.
already, the story, I think that does count.
Yeah, you get another D20.
Because
Okay,
that could
so-
give us another momentum, so hell yeah.
So just throw another d20.
Yep.
Yeah, just roll 1 die in the same. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
wants
so
momentum?
that's 2 more momentum then, so we're good.
Who wants that momentum?
So that was actually an 11 at the end.
Yay for teamwork! It makes the dream work. Now you tell me listen to me when I say we all need to get along. Thank you.
So So is there a way for me to test this to verify it?
You're able to do a quick simulation. Basically getting the computer to give you say the color blue and it flashing the code, and then you are able to just shut it down. It's now that you know what's wrong and what you're countering, it's trivial.
Okay, but I do get a request to say the letter blue, and
Yeah.
I can see who sent it.
Yep. You can't see who sent it. You just know that someone tried to.
Okay.
All right. Well, if that was successful, I believe I can give you a clean bill of health as soon as I get your actual physical body back in order.
Yeah, let's
It's-
do that right away.
It's irrelevant at this time. We need to solve our access issues.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is finding out that receiver that's on the ship or outside the ship, and the computer problem.
And with
Main
that,
computer.
we're going to move on to Dr. McNeil and the captain,
Yep.
as you guys are discussing your next plan of action.
So that moon is where we're supposed to meet.
That star system, yeah.
Okay.
Is that actually a moon, or is that a star or a station?
Boo!
Wrong series, and it's to tell us we're running out of time.
Yeah, I think when we get to, well, either one of these, that's when we go dark, and then, yeah. We won't go cold running until they come out of warp, and then we'll blind them and go dark.
So, Doctor, good Doctor, you have, as you're leaning in to revive the individual, the Lieutenant Commander Jawl walks in.
Oh, Doctor.
Commander?
I was going to see if it was alright if we could talk to the survivors of the Sappho. I didn't want to go and interrupt anybody's therapy or anything. But I see you're...
I would not advise at the current time. I was just about to inform you, but I wanted to confirm my hypothesis.
Huh. Well, looks like you've got something to do here. You gonna wake him up?
That is my intention.
Would you mind if I stuck around?
You may.
I have a few questions myself. Thank you. And she kind of steps back, in a ready position, but is only going to jump whenever Doctor's life's in absolute danger.
When you inject the patient, move him a bit closer.
Oh yeah, it's been 18 hours. I'm on the bridge. Just saying.
Weapon is on stun.
He wakes up, and the golden-skinned and boiling-eyed man kind of comes to. Ugh. Oh God.
She also steps out and turns on the force field.
Okay. Can someone please tell me where I am before I start hitting things?
You're on board the USS Victoria. I am Dr. McNeil. This is Lieutenant Commander Joe. Who might you be?
In your language, step on will suffice. You'll only mess up my name. Oh, my neck. Ow.
Well, that means Urkel.
Just so you're aware, I did my best to treat your injuries. However, I'm quite curious. I sensed a moment of terror earlier.
Oh, a mind reader. Wonderful. That's just great. So, you sense terror. Well, whatever your name is again. People in uniforms much like yours are apparently out to conquer the galaxy, using my people as their cannon fodder. So, excuse me if I'm not exactly thrilled to see you.
What do you mean, people in my uniform? We're not here to conquer anyone.
Well, you're Starfleet or Federation, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, your special commandos have gotten their fleet. They're gonna take over everybody, and getting my people involved in a war they don't have time for.
I assure you, we have no ill intention towards your people. You must be mistaken. And empathically, is he telling me the truth?
He is. If anything, he's confused.
Okay.
Oh. Jarl is silently chuckling.
I'm getting the feeling you actually don't mean to kill me. Well, that one wants to shoot me, but not like kill me, so I'm inclined to believe you. Mind reader. Okay, so what are we going to do? Or what are you going to do, since I'm inside of what I think is a torture cell, so.
This is just
It has
merely
no
a
such
whole...
function. Sorry, Doctor.
It's merely for our protection and your protection.
Of course it is.
Well, I will also have the security team deactivate any tech you may have on you. The last visitors we had of your species decided they didn't like the accommodations. However, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
What were you doing aboard the Sappho?
Stopping your special commandos from their mission.
Special commandos? They were...
Oh my
They're all
I'm sure
dead.
there were no...
I wish I was there.
Right?
Sorry, there are two people over talking.
Oh, it's fine. I lost my mind there for a second. I did kill them, right? They're not alive anymore.
Some are still alive.
You should probably kill them before they try to kill you. Don't you sense it?
I did not sense it. You must be mistaken.
But I could feel it. That makes no sense. They had the same thoughts. He looks around. It actually seems he seems distressed, empathically.
Why don't you calm down?
Okay.
Take a
one
moment
was a
to
doctor.
think. Okay. Commander, please.
Sorry.
You were saying? Sorry?
Stefan, just take a moment. As the commander indicated, the Sappho is a research vessel. It held no commandos or any warlike intentions.
Well, it had your black uniformed commandos aboard. I followed after them. They were flying after the Sappho on some sort of trap mission, I believe, and they were drawing in their crew. That's the word. Into their trap.
So you're telling me that these officers in black uniforms were drawing in other people, members of people in like my uniform and the commanders here, into a trap?
Not the same color. It was black with some sort of weird triangle at your neck. I assume that's like a commando badge or something.
Intriguing.
No. Terrorist is what they are.
I don't know this word.
People who cause damage to spread fear.
Oh, you mean military?
No.
Oh.
They
He's
have
got
no
you there.
code of honor. They have no code of honor. Military, for the most part, most militaries have a certain code of honor.
Will you excuse us just for one moment?
Sure, why not?
As soon
A
as
word,
we leave,
Commander?
yes. And, she goes outside and just assumes that you want her to leave.
No.
So, yes, Doctor?
Clearly he's confused, but are you sure we are meeting? I'm assuming I got the word out of game that we're heading to a rendezvous point.
No, I'm not sure. I don't intend on making that meeting.
Well, there seems to be another side to all of this. And I sense no deception from him. Perhaps the Admiral has more answers for us. One who you refuse to talk to.
No, I was going to talk to him, but I happened to have collapsed before I got the chance to.
If you don't mind, I like to show some goodwill towards him. It might, though their species is hostile in nature. Perhaps showing them another side will help ease the tension.
If you're suggesting we let him out of the brig, I can't do that.
No, I meant food and maybe potentially return him to his people.
I have no problems returning him to his people. If he wants to go back, he can. In fact, I would, if he is safe to travel, at some point I would like to get him out of here. Preferably before we go into hiding again.
McNeil is going to
However-
go walk back into the brig.
I will follow her back in.
I'll just move him, that'll be easier. Nope, you still don't want to kill me. That's a relief. He's lying when he says that, by the way.
No, I
Would you
don't
prefer
want
to
to kill
die?
you.
Better than being a prisoner.
We have no intention of keeping you a prisoner. Do you have a way of contacting your people, or a way to verify the ship that we're meeting belongs to your people?
Well, the problem is, members of the Grand Leadership are currently fools. They think your special commandos are the gateway to glory. I'm one of the few members of the Grand Council that even are thinking beyond our phasers. I could confirm it's one of ours, but I don't know how much it's gonna. I don't know if they're loyal to me or not.
Do you have a way of contacting your loyalist?
If I can get to one of my outposts, I can have a secure line, unless you have a rather powerful communications device aboard your ship. But from my experience, Federation technology is lacking in that regard.
Would you like something to eat?
Sure, I guess.
Commander, if you have any questions, though, do try to go easy.
Yes, actually. You're one of these High Council people, right?
Yes.
I think it was, 204 people? GM, sorry. The original
We're
crew.
going to... Oh, the Sappho or the Victoria?
Victoria.
I think it's like 204, yeah, about that.
Yeah. Alright. What happened? What is this? Do you know the current status or a recent status of the 204 people that were previously aboard this ship?
Okay, I'll just answer your question. That's odd. I thought you were that crew. Last I heard, the original crew of the Victoria was on pending trial for invasion of controlled space. Some Alcaran senior officer got it before the trial. We're supposed to have a first trial supposed to be starting. Last I heard, it's going to be sometime in the next Tynos cycle.
Forgive me. I don't know that measure of time.
How do you measure time then? If not by the timers.
Seconds, minutes, hours, days, years, decades.
We measure it by the movement of stars in
Movement of stars,
relation
yeah.
to each
Yeah,
other.
that.
Give me a reasoned science. Present science. You have to convince him how this works. He's completely mystified.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. I will spend my determination then, because why not? I have one that fits. Anything to win.
Do you have another one? That one's kind of weak.
Not really. That's fine. I won't do that then.
Okay.
I will, however, spend enough momentum for 4 dice, because this is going to be a super terrible roll. Oh. Oh. Yeah. She kind of explains for 5 minutes and then just looks at the doctor and say, "Doctor, maybe you can explain it a little better."
How stardates work? Or do you mean the
Yes.
crude method of explaining how we track time through the rotation of planets and astral body movements?
I would like to know in years. So, yes, the planetary movements around stars, please.
Is that an assist roll?
Yeah, I'll give you an assist roll, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if that's how... That is odd. How do you keep track of it? No matter, doesn't matter. So how... You want to know how long? In what measure of your time?
Well, preferably I don't want to hear the number in years, but let's assume years.
He then clarifies with you what a year is, and eventually he gets less than a year. I know that.
I was gonna say you should do days.
Okay, then the next would be days.
It's longer than a day.
Keep going.
Month.
Less than a month.
Okay. Week?
More than a week.
So within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes. Yes. Why do you think
Great.
about time so much? God. It's so infuriating. You actually get a sense that he's actually getting angry at the whole idea of star dates and division of time. Like, this is actually pissing him off.
I appreciate you letting us know.
I wonder what their counting system is, if it's like a base 12 or something.
Right? No matter.
Hexadecimals, maybe.
Okay.
Would you like lessons on how to gut a humanoid since you gave me a lesson of the day, or?
Oh, believe me.
Thank you,
I
Altera.
could
That's
teach
exactly
you a
what I
thing
was
or two.
thinking.
And she actually does extend her claws. Just not menacingly, just showing them off. I have plenty of practice in that, I assure you. Now, we will send you back to your people. When we haven't quite figured out. Or you can take the cowardly route of your kinsman, speciesman.
What are you talking about?
Oh, some of them escaped, and instead of being contained and then released, they decided to. And she does kind of look down, and she is actually feeling remorse because she didn't want them to die. They were exposed to the vacuum of space.
Mind reader, your clawed one's defective. He says, while you're feeling remorseful.
It's a trait among our people to feel sympathy for others.
Okay, if you say so, mind reader. So when do we get to the whole shocking my eyes thing, or is that not happening?
That's not happening.
Oh, okay.
As I said,
And she said, and the commander says, gritting her teeth, as long as you behave, no harm will come to you. Now visibly angry.
Oh, look at me. I'll barehanded attack an entire ship full of armed people. If I manage to be able to do that, I should get a medal. But don't worry, I'm not going to take on a ship full of crazy people.
He says that like it's a bad idea.
Also, one question. One more question.
Your counting system's
And
very
then-
weird.
It is. It is. You have to forgive our inefficiency.
We'll try.
Were you responsible for what happened to the Sappho? It vanishing and pieces of it being missing.
No, that was the your Starfleet commandos. They did that. I mean, we stripped it of its people and the like, but apparently they wanted them for some reason.
Okay. And the injuries sustained to the senior staff? Was it your doing?
Excuse me, senior staff? I don't understand.
Commanding officer.
Oh, that was your people. We would have burned them. We don't let people who are tortured live. It's cruel and unusual.
Doctor?
Their mental state currently is bad. It's going to take time for them to recover from their torture if they recover at all. There's only so much I can do. Really need a full-fledged counselor for treating them.
Alright. Very well. And she looks at the security officer in the brig. Get him some food, or set up his replicator so he can get himself some food. And, Doctor, if you don't mind, I will be excusing myself. And
That's a lot of
she
threats,
turns.
but
Yeah, we're like already at 12, 14,
Yeah. Of course.
16, 18,
Okay.
Oh God.
all of it. So
Oh
20
god, he spent all the threat at
yep,
once.
20 or 21, yep.
So
At
we're
that
fighting a
moment-
Death Star.
All the at that minute, all the lights of the ship go out, and then emergency red lighting kicks on.
Alan was right.
I'm trying.
Yep, you said go to the computer first. I've been waiting just like you for people to do it. But nope.
Okay.
All hands, repeat, all hands. This is Captain Dominic Renard of the USS Sappho. I am seizing control of the USS Victoria.
I specifically said
doctor.
to revoke the. No, I revoked their security clearance.
He had a back door just like Jaw had when she got the not ambassador, I keep wanting to say ambassador, but the he had a key card to slip in just like Jaw did. Gets all the code.
The lieutenant commander looks at the doctor, very apologetic. She's getting nothing but remorse for what she's about to have to do. And she draws her phaser and leaves the brig, heading for the bridge.
And that is the end of the episode. And Doctor, there will be a because of what you did, your guys going to start off with an advantage of limit that will go